then it is going to be a little toasty.
It is going to be a little toasty, and that could play a factor. You and I were talking. It could play a factor late in the fourth quarter, possibly, with cramps.
And that is one of the reasons that I think the coaches will appreciate the fact that there's now no limit on the number of players that they can suit up, because with 90, you ought to be able to find some without cramps, Rob.
I think that has really benefited this Hutchinson football team this year, Rusty, and there is no question that there is a lot of depth, and this Blue Dragon football team is ready to go here on a very hot day. The wind is also going to be a factor. I totally believe that it's going to benefit. They're stacking the box. They're putting 8 guys at the line of scrimmage, and they're daring Hutchinson to throw the football. Against this wind, it's difficult, and Hutch has not been good this year in third down long situations. We'll call this third and kind of a mid-range try, 3rd and 6.
Nobody has picked up a first down in this game thus far. Cam Jones stays in the pocket, throws upfield. Now the Dragons have one. Nice completion to the tight end. And taking it across the 50-yard line, Jayhawk Conference, the 6-footer from Decatur, Alabama, gives Blue Dragon fans something to cheer about as he takes it down to the 47 of Highland.
Maybe one of his first catches of the year.
He's had, I think I remember calling his name before, but how about the offensive line giving Jones time to set, survey, plenty of time, pocket was clean, and that offensive line did a good job that time.
Jones back in the shotgun. Takes the snap. Dragons will run. Started to the left, came back to the right, did basically a lot of running in place, and that doesn't work. And no gain on the play, might even have been a loss of a yard.
I'm telling you, it is going to be a tall task wearing out this Highland defense, but if you can sustain drives, keep them out on the field, I promise you, in the second half with this heat, they'll start to wear down, and you'll have some opportunities to run it. You just have to stay after it.
The Dragons are alternating running backs. Waller in there now. He was in on the last play as well, so they're doing a good job keeping them fresh.
Second down, a little more than 10. Jones draws pressure, floats it in the middle of the field, complete. Dragons will have a first down at the 36-yard line, and that's the short passing that you're talking about. And the Dragons get a nice pass completion down to the 36-yard line. That one was to Marquise Whitmire.
One of the better throws by Jones on the season. He was getting decked as he released the football. That's an outstanding job of delivering the football accurately, knowing you're going to get popped, and he did right after he released it.
His confidence started last week against Garden City. He's really starting to have some faith.
2 first downs via the pass on this drive, and the Dragons go back to the run on first down. Get a couple of yards, cracking the 35. We'll call it to the 34-yard line.
Jeremiah Hill, number 13, one of the best backers for Highland, was not even touched on that play. That is a brain freeze right there for the Dragons. You cannot miss putting a hat on the other team's best linebacker.
Highland is really tough up the middle with that big defensive tackle that we talked about, Jakeem Green, and then those 2 outstanding linebackers right behind him. Dragons are second down, a little bit more than 8. Jones back, rolling to his right. Screen pass set up, it's not going to work. Highland read it beautifully. Dragons set up the screen and completed it to Leroy Watson, but it'll go for negative yardage and a loss all the way back to the 38-yard line.
This team, you're not going to be able to beat them, in my opinion, horizontally. You got to attack them vertically because they have so much team speed sideline to sideline. There's just no way that last play is going to work.
And yet we talked about the difficulty of running right up the middle because of that big D tackle and the 2 good linebackers.
Holes have been with the tight ends over the middle of the field so far in this game.
Third down passing situation. Jones has room, floats it up the middle, completes the pass inside the 25. That should be enough for a first down.
Yeah, they'll move the chains. That was a good one. Right on the mark.
Again to Jayhawk Conference. Second catch for the tight end in this game, and it gives Hutchinson a first down at the 24.
And Highland will have to make some adjustments because right now the middle of the field is open for Hutchinson. It's a cat-mouse type of strategy, and right now the Dragons are attacking the middle of the field and having success.
And a timeout's going to be taken there also. That will also open up the run game.
Sure will.
Let's take a break. We'll be back with more. 4:40 to go in the first quarter. No score, but Hutchinson moving. We're back in 30.
Men's and women's basketball, baseball, and other selected events. Get yours today at the Sports Arena or at area Dillon stores. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and keep current on all Blue Dragon news and events at BlueDragonSports.com.
Well, the first significant drive of the football game is underway, and it is the Hutchinson Blue Dragons that are moving it. 3 first downs in the drive, all of them via the pass. And now Hutchinson has it at the 24-yard line. If you're thinking field goal range, not yet. Not against this wind. Jones under center, hands off, and Waller trying to break to the outside. He had a little bit of a hole, and I think if he'd put his head down, he might have gotten some positive yardage. He tried to dance to the outside, and we've talked about the lateral pursuit of this Highland team. It is exceptional, and it is no gain for the Blue Dragons on the running play, maybe even a loss of a half a yard.
Dragons have ran the ball well this year, but this is going to be one of those games where quarterback and receivers are probably going to have to step up. So far here in the first quarter, they've done so. You're going to have to beat this team vertically in the passing game to beat them. Too tough to run against.
Marquise Edwards splits wide to the left side, and for the Blue Dragons, Whitmire to the right. And Cam Jones got away from the first burst of defensive pressure, and the second one got him. And it will be spotted at the 26-yard line. Loss of a couple of yards. 3rd down and 12.
Yeah, that was number 50, Grain, for Highland. Ryan Rhodes said he is a total beast. Should have had a quarterback sack that time. I mean, he threw his offensive lineman to the side like a rag doll and was in the Dragon backfield. No chance there. 3rd down and long for Hutchinson.
Hutchinson has had some success on this drive in 3rd down. Let's see if the Scotties might dial up some big-time defensive pressure here. They're threatening blitz. Jones, with room to throw, delivers a very poor pass out in the left flat. Again was looking for Jagway, just simply didn't throw it well.
Now you have a decision, Glenn. Do you go for it on 4th down?
Well, that wind's coming out about 12 miles per hour straight out of the south. I don't know if they're going to try it or not. I think you'd go for it on 4th down.
That's
here.
what they'll do.
Yeah, this is not a makeable field goal. It
Not
would
at
be
all.
43 yards into a 15, 20-mile-an-hour wind.
And, you know, you look at it on the field, and it doesn't look that far, but that wind is pretty fierce down there.
It is not a golf ball that you're kicking.
Nope.
4th down for the Dragons. Jones gets good pressure, stays in the pocket, delivers it over the top. It is too tall, out of the hands of the intended receiver, and the Dragons turn it over on downs. We remain scoreless with 3:16 to go in the first quarter. And the Scotties of Highland will take over the football at their own 26-yard line. But at least Hutchinson showed that it could move the ball through the air.
That was Jagway again. He was open. Quarterback that time threw the ball a little bit high. Had he put it in the numbers, that was going to be very, very close to a 1st down. Hutchinson finding success over the middle of the field, and Jagway's been a big part of it.
Yeah, Jagway a little shaken up after that play right there. We'll see how he is coming back next series.
Saw him limping a little bit.
Unbalanced line to the right, and a running play to the right side. And the Dragons, again, very, very tough against the run. This was Willie Jordan on the carry. He lowered his head and was able to slip forward for a couple.
Xavier Jackson on the tackle. Glenn's Sideline Reports brought to you by Jackson Meat. Call 662-4465. And Oliver's Beef and Brew,
Yeah.
925 East 30th, as well as Cahoon Kinesiology.
Oliver's open right now. Matter of fact, might go there after the game. Kids eat free, by the way, or no, for $1 with an adult meal.
Need to hydrate after the game.
Might have to do that.
Again, this time unbalanced line left. Pass play, thrown over the middle, broken up. Pass was intended for Ronnie Jameson. Really good coverage by Blue Dragon defender
Jerry Jacobs. Yeah, he got his hand in there. Quarterback threw the ball a little bit behind the receiver. That enabled Jacobs to get there, get a paw in. It's good coverage. 3rd down long for Highland. They're not a great offense in 3rd and long situations as well. This is playing into the Dragon defense. Let's see if they maybe blitz somebody here and come after the quarterback.
Football at the 28 of the Scotties. Man in motion across the formation. Pressure comes. The ball unloaded in a hurry. Complete a screen pass. And a nice tackle made by the Blue Dragons, but able to slip it across the 30-yard line out to the 34 were the Scotties. A 1st down saving tackle by the Blue Dragons.
That was Colby Turner. If Turner does not get the ankles there, it's a 1st down. the ball might be at midfield, and they set the screenplay up beautifully, but Turner read it nicely and made a very impressive point.
And Ronnie Jameson, who pulled it in, he was looking at the goal line at the other end of the field.
Telling you, who knows how far he goes, but Turner that time with the play of the game so far.
Now Lane Spiker, who ought to be a volleyball player, is instead a punter in this situation, gets off another wonderful punt. Wonderful punt, fielded by the Dragons at the 12-yard line. Waller out to the 20, pretty nice return, and slips it upfield close to the 30-yard line. Tremendous punt by Spiker.
That is, I mean, impressive. This guy gets some air. That thing brought rain, it was so high, and you have to be impressed with the punting game for Highland.
He only averages on the year 31 yards a punt, but this is a telling stat. Of his 14 punts, 12 of them have been fair caught. So that's telling you that he's kicking it high. Blue Dragons back to work, still scoreless. Inside 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. Rusty Hills, Glenn Grunwald, Rob Dreyer with you on this Saturday afternoon on Country 102.9. Cam Jones, hands off. There's a little room in the middle of the field, and a 360 spin by Otis Williams enables him to get out to the 35-yard line.
You know, that's a 3-yard gain, and impressive against this Highland defense. What you want to do is just continue to chip away, get some first downs. The last drive, impressive by Hutchinson. You force them to go 3 and out, get their defense right back on the field, and on a day like this, I promise you, it'll pay dividends in that fourth quarter if you can just string together some first downs.
More like a 4-yard pickup. Let's call it 2nd down 6. Slot on the right side of the offensive set. Jones under center. Hands off. Almost a draw play, a little room to run. The Dragons slip it to the outside and pick up a first down. That's a new back. That's Desmond Jackson. Coach Rhodes telling me this kid is pretty talented. He gives us some good size at that running back spot at 228. Had only 3 carries coming into this game, but he picked up a big first down for Hutch at the 45.
They film practice, and guys sometimes may not be on the radar early in the season, but they continue to play hard, work hard in practice, get opportunities. Film never lies, and 27 now getting some opportunities and making the most of it.
Tavian Allen out in the left flat. He wasn't supposed to play in this game. The Dragons go with a delayed handoff and battle to get a yard out of it.
You know, I still, Glenn, like the fact we're not going away from the run, even though it's not easy.
Yeah, it's going to get better as the game goes on because of getting tired with the defense. You discussed that earlier. I'll tell you what, there's a lot of hydrating going on the sideline when these guys come up.
And that's going to be the end of the quarter. We have played one. Neither team has scored. We'll take a 1-minute timeout and be back for the second quarter from Gowans Stadium. Back in a minute.
Something new about Reno County area transportation. The drivers are wearing safety green uniforms. These will alert motorists when drivers are on the street, assisting passengers on and off the bus, keeping everyone safer. RCAT is first come, first served general public transportation that has a bright future. And it's not just the color of our shirts. Call 694-2913 for information.
For quality in product and in service, choose your Train air conditioning system from E&M Plumbing. E&M can supply you with high-efficiency Train systems with the same high-quality installation you've come to expect from their long-time service experience. They'll answer any questions you have about the new high-efficiency Train units with no obligation. Thinking air conditioning? Think E&M Plumbing Incorporated, 701 West 2nd, 662-1281. After all, it's hard to stop a train.
Well, first quarter statistics show Hutchinson with the better of it in total offense, 64 yards to 19, but no points up there on the scoreboard for either team. Blue Dragons start the second period at their own 46. Low snap picked up by Jones, gives off to Waller, and Waller gets to the edge, run out of bounds near midfield.
Boy, I'm telling you, the trenches, the offense and defensive lines for both these teams showing just how good they are, and every inch is hard to come by, but the Dragons put themselves in a third and manageable spot.
Yeah, Waller was able to get to the corner. That's the first time we've seen a running back able to do that in this game. It's a pickup of 6 for Otis. And the Blue Dragons are again across midfield in Scotty country.
So much talent in this Jayhawk Conference. Unbelievable. Two heavyweights going at it today.
Good to see Deshaun Waller also being healthy.
Yes.
Jones, two-step drop, unloads over the middle, complete at the 40-yard line and down to the 38 with the reception for the Blue Dragons is Leroy Watson, the tight end out of Snellville, Georgia.
One of the team captains, guys. That is the weakness of this Highland defense. Hutchinson's coaching staff exposing it. Cam Jones accurate with his throws. He's now 5 of 9, has 1 pick in the game, but that is how you move the chains.
Dragons with the wind at their back in quarter number 2. Again, we are still scoreless. Jones under center, hands off, and the Dragons found the middle and a pretty nice gain from the 39 down to the 35-yard line.
And 3 yards on first down is impressive. It may not look like it from the stands, but it just gives you more opportunities when you're getting positive yards on first down.
And I'm liking the running of Desmond Jackson.
He's running hard.
A little bit bigger.
Legs are fresh.
Just as quick. Dragons.
Offensive line's doing a good job also.
Wideouts to each side of the field. Jones back in the shotgun on 2nd down 7, gets a high snap, does a nice job of fielding it. It delays the handoff, though, and the Dragons will lose a yard or two. That time, the timing was thrown off by the high snap.
It's a pretty good job by Jones to catch that ball, because if it goes over his head, that thing's going to go for 20 yards plus. It was a rocket, Glenn.
Yeah, and there was something on YouTube and Facebook a week or so ago, a punt that went over a player's head, and it was like, 90 yards later back into the – I can't remember what team that was, but it was hilarious. I think it was Louisiana Tech maybe.
It is a 3rd down and 8. Dragons, with the wind at their back, are they in 4-down territory? Right now, they hope they can pick it up on 3rd down. Jones with time, unloads over the middle, complete down to the 20-yard line and taking it down to the 18 with the catch for Hutchinson. And that is
Aaron Shannon.
Aaron Shannon. First time we've called that name in a long while.
Freshman from Cincinnati, and there's so much depth on this Dragon football team, and trying to weed through some of the players and see who's going to really respond and play big for Hutchinson, as we've got a player down.
Yeah, we got a Highland players down on the defensive line.
I'll bet that's a cramp, and we're going to see that quite a few times.
Yeah, let's see how. Yep, that's exactly what they're going to stretch out for. So
let's take a 30-second timeout. We'll be back with more Blue Dragon football in 30 seconds.
Just as the Hutchinson Blue Dragons athletics are a tradition, so is the Anchor Inn in downtown Hutchinson. Whether you plan lunch or dinner or even take out for home, the Anchor Inn is a great family restaurant that you are sure to enjoy. Order off their great menu or take advantage of the Anchor Inn's awesome buffet. You'll make a great choice either way. The Anchor Inn is also a great spot to meet up with old friends and acquaintances, because everyone goes to the Anchor. That's the Anchor Inn at 128 South Main in Hutchinson, proud supporters of Hutchinson Blue Dragon athletics.
Well, the player being tended to for cramps was Kendrick Caddis, 2nd on the team in tackles coming into this game. He's up, walks off the field. But guys, I tell you, once you get a cramp, you're prone to have cramps for the foreseeable future.
I just talked to Ryan Hilty. They started loading them up with Gatorade even in the middle of the week, and now they have Pedialyte mixed with water.
Very smart.
Dragons with a 1st down at the 18-yard line and busted play. Jones trying to turn something good into a bad situation. Can't get it done. Loses. Well, they said he did.
B.J. Emmons.
He did a pretty good job.
Emmons is hurt.
He limped off the field holding what looked like a knee, and now he is on the ground with a trainer. Looks like a cramp for him as well.
Cam Jones did a nice job to get it back to the 18-yard line. Looked like he was going to be sacked for about a 10-yard loss.
Well, we had an over-under on how many cramps we would see in this football game.
He hadn't been in there enough to get a cramp.
Well, Glenn, man, it is so hot out there.
I know. We'll keep it.
Hey, I get cramps laying in bed.
That's true.
All right, Jones stays in the pocket. Now we'll run with it. Takes it to the 20, takes it to the 10, to the 5, down to the 3-yard line. Flag dropped, though, back at the 21.
Yeah, I think it's coming back.
It's a hold. And a good job by Jones. Nothing open. Don't turn the football over, and used his feet to make a play, but unfortunately, this is going to be a hold against Hutchinson and cost him 10 yards.
And the bad thing about that is you're going to be looking at a 2nd down and very long situation. Is that 10-yard walk-off probably took them out of field goal range.
Fortunate it's still second down. You have more opportunities here, a couple more downs to chip away at some yards, and field goals in a game like this that have two really good defenses on the field could play a huge factor later in this game.
2 of 2 for Luke Niemeyer on field goals for the Blue Dragons, but both have been 27-yarders. Right now, a field goal would be about 45 yards.
Highland showing blitz.
Draw play. Cam Jones takes off, quarterback draw, and takes it to the 26. Pretty conservative call, picked up 2. It'll be third down, very long. And let's see if they don't try to throw it maybe in the middle of the field to set up a field goal try.
Yeah, you don't take a sack here. Don't turn the ball over, because you're definitely in field goal range with the wind at your back in this situation. Be smart with it. Would not be surprised if Hutchinson doesn't play it conservatively here.
I'll be surprised if they take it to the edges of the field. Although deployed wide to the right is Tavian Allen. He was doubtful, but has played several snaps in this game.
Be smart with the ball.
Jones takes the snap, stands in the pocket, pressure comes, unloads it over the middle, actually into the end zone. That pass intended for Tavian Allen. He was well covered, and it'll be fourth down, and the Blue Dragons will send Luke Niemeyer out to try to kick his longest field goal of the season.
That was into triple coverage, Glenn Grunwald.
Yeah, it was. He had to get rid of it. They had a lot of pressure on him. Demery did a good job of picking up the blitz and was able to block him away, or it could have been worse.
43-yard field goal attempt off the left hash.
Niemeyer has been good.
Snap is okay. The kick is going to be wide to the left. So we remain scoreless. 10:26 to play in the first half of this football game. Hutchinson has been the better of the two teams in terms of moving it, but the Dragons haven't turned it into any points.
Well, the beauty of that is both teams have missed a field goal, but Hutchinson continues to move the ball. Highland's defense has been on the field already a lot in this first half. It will pay dividends in the second half. Dragon defense seems to be fresh. Let's see if they can get a stop here and make this team punt into this very stiff breeze.
On the missed field goal, the ball comes back to the line of scrimmage, and Highland has it at the 26 of the Scotties. And a little confusion in the backfield. I'm not sure that that wasn't a broken play. Kevin Brown wound up getting the football from Kyle Kearns, but by the time he got it, he had a lot of blue jerseys for company, and down he goes for a loss of 4.
Wallace said, look like I found a running back with a ball and threw him back for a loss of 4.
Lewis Wallace, a freshman from Georgia, and he just smothered the ball carrier. Highland's offense not equipped to get out of these second down and longs.
Yeah,
plus,
true.
you know, it's second and long with a team going against a very stiff breeze here at Gowans.
Albert Howard deploys wide to the left side, and again they go unbalanced line left. Dragons defense shifting. Kearns stands back in the gun and hands off, and the Dragons are going to snuff it out once again. Kevin Brown got a little bit of positive yardage, but you can measure it with 1 yard.
Drew Harvey, 33, was the first there from his backer position, and Ryan has talked about this young man getting better and better each week. He's getting more playing time at the backer position, and a guy that I think can be a star for this Dragon defense as the season goes on.
The way this defense is playing, those field goals, like you talked about, Rob, might be important.
They very well could be.
I do not believe Highland has a first down yet. Back to throw, Kearns delivers it over the middle, and a nice play in the middle of the field made by Whitmire prevents that from any kind of significant gain.
Jerry
Jacobs,
yeah.
That's the other, number 3.
And you're correct, Rusty. No first downs for this Highland offense in the football game. Hutchinson has churned out 6 of them. And something else, guys, I don't want to jinx the Dragons, but remember how penalties have really killed this football team this year? This game, they have 1.
Yeah, pretty clean.
Pretty clean. That was a hold.
And that hold, though, might have taken them out of field goal range.
Yep, you're exactly right. But at least they've cleaned that up in this game.
Waller is back to receive.
And Lane Spiker will be the punter. Gets a nice snap from center, gets it off, low spinning kick. You can see the wind grab that one, but it takes a nice bounce for the Scotties. And it's still rolling and rolls down to the Blue Dragon 29-yard line. 8:12 to go in the first half. Nothing. We thought it would be a defensive struggle. It has been.
That is a terrific punt, and in a game like this with two heavyweight defenses, field position is critical. Now, once again, the Highland defense trots out onto the field because their offense has gone at 3 and out every single time they've had possession. That is a huge factor. If Hutchinson can come out here again with the wind at their back, get a couple more first downs, it's advantageous for them as this game plays out.
Cam Jones has been in there for the Dragons on every significant snap of this whole football campaign, and he stands in the shotgun, takes the snap. The Dragons will go with the run on first down.
Nothing.
They continue to test the middle, and the Highland Scotties continue to ace those tests over and over again.
This pace of the game, quick. This is one of the quicker moving football games that we've seen this season. We're already down under 8 minutes of the second quarter in this one.
Well, that's what happens when you have penalty-free games.
You're right.
Yeah, good point. Not a lot of throwing.
Jackson is the running back. He stands to the left of quarterback Cam Jones. Jones being chased, unloads it, just simply threw it away to avoid the sack, and that's a smart play by the Hutchinson quarterback.
He was wise to do that. Something from the sports world that's not football related but NBA related. Carmelo Anthony was traded to Oklahoma City just a little while ago.
Very interesting.
That's interesting. Thunder kind of loaded up.
By the way, Jones growing up, Rusty, last year he tries to force that ball. Bad things happen. This time he realizes there's no way he's got a chance to complete the ball, throw it out of bounds, live for another play. Even if you punt the ball here on third down, you have that awesome wind at your back, and you're going to be okay.
Third down and 9. Jones back to throw, steps up in the pocket. He's got room to run. Now throws it upfield, throws it again upfield to the 43-yard line. Again, another strike to Jalik Jagway, and the Blue Dragons continue to pick up third and longs via the pass, and almost always in the middle of the field.
Third catch for Jagway. He's over 60 yards now in receiving yardage, averaging about 18 yards a catch. He has been the big play guy over the middle. That is the weakness in this Highland defense. I have a feeling at halftime they'll make some adjustments to that.
At the 43 of the Scotties, Jones hands off. Dragons try to get to the outside. That is Waller, and he gets smacked down after a gain of 2. Kept looking for a little crack to slip through, never could find it, and then just really mashed down after picking up about 6 feet.
But the Dragons again get a first down, keep the defense from Highland out there. Glenn, if we could get a score here before halftime, how huge would that be?
Well, that's what I was saying about the field goal opportunities. That could be all they ever get, but you're right. If they can put 6 on the board plus the extra point, that would be huge.
Jones goes under center on second down 8 at the 42 of Highland. Drops back, sets up, throws over the middle, wide open in the middle of the field again, and the catch is made at the 27 and taking it down to the 24-yard line. That's Johnny Lumpkin, his 6th catch of the season.
Tight ends are open. And Rob described it earlier, that middle part of the field, tight ends been able to find it. Wallace has been there, a couple others.
Coach Rhodes told me this is the best collection of tight ends that he's had since he's been the coach here. Hey, if they're good, use them. And they're open right now and really causing headaches for Highland's defense.
Marcus Edwards out wide to the right side. Dragons go back to the run, and pretty decent carry by Jackson on first down. He will get to the 22-yard line for a pickup of 3.
And the officials have helmet
came off again. We see that more and more.
That's Dominic Taylor, second time in the game that's happened. He's Hutchinson's best offensive lineman.
Get the old team manager out there to get that thing fixed.
Keep that strapped on. We need him out there.
For Hutchinson, a 2nd and 7 at the 22 of Highland. 5.5 minutes to play in the first half. Neither team has put any points on the scoreboard. Dragons go back to the run. And running laterally, Jackson is smacked down after a gain of 1. Nice play defensively made by the Scotties to prevent what at first I thought might be a 3 or 4 yard pickup.
Yeah, he was hitting the backfield, 27, really keeping the legs moving, and it took 3 different pops to get him down. Positive yardage, nothing negative. Now you have a third down and huge situation coming up. If not, you're going to kick a field goal. Do not take a sack here.
Tavian Allen goes out wide to the right. Jagway goes in the slot on that side. 2 receivers to the left side of the field. They're in a stack. Cam Jones dropped back, stays in the pocket, and gets grabbed by the ankle as he releases the football, consequently throws it into the ground. It's incomplete, and the Dragons presumably will try a field goal.
That is not on the quarterback. That time protection broke down, and he was lucky to get rid of the football. Could have been a sack. I mean, it was a jailbreak, and he was popped right when he threw it.
This one by Niemeyer will be a 38-yard try, his longest make of the season. He's 2 of 3. Longest make, 27. But a good wind at his back off the left hash. Nice snap. Kick is up, and it is wide left.
My goodness, exact same thing as last time. As a kicker, you have got to make an adjustment, as that is the exact same swing, kind of like your golf swing, Rusty. I mean, you shake one once.
I beg your pardon?
You would probably correct it the next time, and so you don't shake it again.
Well, a lot of those things that you think are easy are not quite so simple. Randy McKay sitting to my left, he plays a little bit of golf. He understands.
Yeah, that boy.
It's very possible to hit the same bad shot 2 times in a row.
Well, we just saw it, so I know Coach Rhodes hating to see that.
And now Highland goes back to work, and for the first time they get a significant pickup on a first down carry from the 21 out to the 26.
Baptista, number 31, making the tackle. But you're right, that's the best run Highland has had, and we're down to the 4-minute mark of the second quarter. What you don't want here is to give up a couple of first downs. If you can get a stop or only allow 1 first down, you should get good field position with this win.
Kevin Brown was the ball carrier. Now it is 2nd and manageable. Let's see if Kyle Kearns can get the first down. Dragons are again watching as Brown tries to push the pile. Does a heck of a job, pushes his way, bulls his way forward. I thought the Dragons had him contained short of the 30-yard line. He's out to the 33. That is a tremendous run by Kevin Brown.
First down at the 3-minute and 50-second mark of the second quarter for Highland. That's how good the Dragon defense has been in this one.
Ronnie Jameson splits out wide to the left side. Now you worry just a little bit. Hutchinson has outplayed Highland all the first half, hasn't scored. You worry about a big play. And Kevin Brown's not going to get it there because the Dragons stop him for no gain.
Colby Turner, 24, filling the hole, a little slow to get up. I mean, he put a pop on the running back. Turner playing well as Hutchinson's defense continues to sub players. Now Turner comes out, and they put Drew Harvey in, and they are making sure defensively they stay fresh as well.
One of the best defensive games I've seen played here in Gowans Stadium in a number of years.
We knew there were 2 good defenses in this one.
Dragons again are equal to the task. Kevin Brown is caught in the backfield. Great penetration by the defensive right of the Blue Dragons. That's a loss on the play of about a yard. And again, it's 3rd and 11.
And it's 33, Drew Harvey. I've watched this young man progress over the last couple of games, and Ryan Rhodes loves him. He is getting better each week. It made a great play, Glenn.
Give credit also to Guy Victoria. He was up there to wrap him up as well. Both those guys are playing really well.
Yeah, Guy's been Defensive Player of the Week, the City Beverage Player of the Week a couple times this year already.
Kearns back to throw, unloads up the middle, and getting one hand on it but not able to pull it in was Albert Howard. It'll be 4th down and punt time. And again, the comments by our sidekick Glenn Grunwald, brought to you by Oliver's Beef and Brew, Jackson Meat, and Ty Cahoon Kinesiology. We really appreciate those good folks.
Super coverage by number 9, Devon Henderson, locked on the receiver one-on-one, watched the quarterback, saw his eyes, and then knocked the ball down at the last minute, forcing a punt. Dragons are going to get one more crack at it before halftime.
Hoping for a return, Otis Waller, or Deshaun Waller. Yeah, I'm dating myself, aren't I? And this time it's not a particularly good punt, but it does take a nice roll. Dragons fielded in traffic. Oh, what a dangerous grab.
It's because it hit a dragon.
It hit a dragon,
yep.
Yeah. Came off the helmet.
And Hutchinson will wind up with it at the 33-yard line.
That punt was so bad because of the wind that as the guys are running down the field, it hit one. That's a fluke thing. There's nothing you can do as a guy that's running down there to prevent that from happening. It just did, but alertly, Hutchinson gets on the football and saves the possession.
2 minutes And change, 2:08 to be more specific, left in a scoreless first half.
Rob, do you take a shot here, a long shot?
First down would be the best time to do it.
I think so, too.
152 yards of offense to 33 for Highland. Highland, 1 first down, the Dragons 8. The problem, Hutchinson has dominated the first half, and you look at the scoreboard.
Between the 30s.
No scores.
And nobody has come close to scoring a touchdown.
No.
There have been missed field goal tries, 2 by the Dragons, 1 by Highland. Cam Jones gets a bad snap, juggles it, picks it up, timing off, and he's dragged down at the 28-yard line. That's a loss of 5.
Inexcusable. That is the 3rd time in this game already that the snap from the center has not been good to the quarterback. You practice it every day. You've been practicing it every day now for 2+ months. You cannot have that happen because you just saw what happened there. It throws the timing off from the start.
You have to understand that across from the center is a very unfriendly person sometimes who can have a little bit of impact on those snaps, although the snap should be underway before any contact is made.
That's what Coach Rhodes would tell you.
Yep. So it is a 2nd down and 14. Dragons, will they go back to work in the middle of the field with the pass play?
It's worked.
Eric Forrest, new quarterback in there, juggles the snap, and he's caught for a loss of 2.
Yep, quarterback had to come out because he lost his helmet, and that time number 16 just about lost the football, and there was a Blue Dragon lineman down, Glenn. Looks like 74.
Yeah, I think it is 74, and he's been down a couple of times.
That's Taylor.
Taylor's came off, and now he rolls over, and
his ankle
looks like
kind of like.
And while they tend to the injured Blue Dragon with 1:24 remaining in the first half, well, let's take a 30-second break to hear from these great folks.
Can't live without your cell phone, but tired of the fees, overages, and expensive bills? We could all live without that. Maybe it's time to switch to Nextech Wireless. Save up to $60 a month with plans like our new Unlimited Everything Lite. Get 2 lines with unlimited talk, text, and data for only $100 a month. That's 2 lines, unlimited data, only $100. It's time to say goodbye to your carrier and say hello to something better. Nextech Wireless.
Well, the injured Blue Dragon is indeed number 74, Dominic Taylor, 6'4", 282-pounder from Snellville, Georgia. He comes hopping off the field, not putting any weight on that right ankle.
Yeah, that's unfortunate because team captain, he's graded out as the top offensive lineman already a couple times this year. There's some depth on that line, and it's going to get tested.
It is 3rd and very long for the Blue Dragons. Jones under center, drops back, pressure comes, stays in the pocket, unloads over the middle, and it is caught at the 46-yard line. Another tight end grab. This one snared by Blue Dragon Aaron Shannon, his 2nd of the afternoon.
Yeah, he's a receiver they put in the slot, but it's the same principle, same theory, running those routes over the middle, trying to get behind the backer, doing just that, and a great throw.
We talked about how tough it has been for the Dragons to pick up 3rd and long. They've done it 4 or 5 times here in the first half. There's a timeout taken. We'll work in a break as well. 1:09 left in the first half. We return with football action in a half minute.
Hello, this is Tom Elliott of Elliott Mortuary, and again this year we are pleased to help sponsor HCC Blue Dragon Sports. We encourage you to support all the Blue Dragon games, both home and away, with your attendance, and if not, we hope you enjoy listening to the game here on KWBW and Country 102.9. Elliott Mortuary and Crematory, proud sponsor of Hutchinson Community College, and honored to have served the families of Hutchinson and Reno County since 1935.
The Dragons will have the football at their 46-yard line. 1:09 left in the first half. And I'm looking at the scoreboard, hard to tell the number of timeouts left. Is that showing 2?
Yeah,
I think Hutch has 2.
Hutch has 2.
Jones with time, and now hit. Is that a fumble? Ball's on the ground, and it is recovered by the Highland Scotties.
Hit as he was trying to throw. Ball came out. They land on it, and turnovers could be a huge part of this game. 2nd one for Hutch.
And all of a sudden, the Blue Dragons have given Highland good field position at the 38-yard line of the Dragons with 1 minute to go in the first half. And a Highland Scotty team that has mustered just one first down in a position where they could conceivably take the lead in at halftime.
And the Dragons have dominated this football game up to this point, and it would sure not be good going into the locker room if they give up a score here.
Kearns back in the gun, loads it up, throws it over the middle. It is caught at the 30-yard line and taken down to the 28. It was a strike thrown to Albert Howard. And the Scotties in a hurry up. They are already lined up at the Hutchinson 28-yard line. Clock on the march. Kearns steps back one step, unloads to the right, and unable to pull it in is Ronnie Jameson on the sideline. That'll stop the clock with 43 seconds to play.
Scotties have one timeout left in the half if need be. It would stop for a first down.
They'd like to save that probably for a field goal attempt should it come to that. At the Hutchinson 28-yard line. Two wideouts to the left. That's the wide side of the field. One to the right. Kearns in the gun. Be shocked if this is anything but a pass play. Looking. Can't find anybody. Throws it away.
Great pressure by Hutchinson. And I tell you, Baptista, number 31, was chasing the quarterback down again. He has been very active in this game. Made a couple of plays in the backfield.
And Kyle Kearns is not really very mobile as a quarterback. Doesn't like to run the football, and that has been a factor.
And third down long coming up, not something that Highland is well equipped to get out of. If you're Hutchinson, you want to force them to make a decision on fourth down.
Two wideouts left, one right. Kearns from the gun. Hit as he throws, got a receiver out there, and it is broken up or intercepted. Incomplete, hit the ground. Well defended for the Blue Dragons by number 3, Jerry Jacobs, at the pylon on the left side of the field.
Could have had an interception, comes up short, and I don't think you're in field goal range now, so you're probably going to have to try to go for it on fourth down and 10. 29 seconds to go, clock not a factor.
Well, their field goal kicker has kicked a 46-yarder. This one would be 45, but
Into the
the
wind.
factor is that 15 to 20 mile an hour wind. I can't imagine that he would be getting anything less than 35
First
going in
half
this direction.
boils down to this play right here, and a timeout, I think.
Yeah, Hutch is going to call timeout.
So we'll take a break as well. 29 ticks left on the first half clock. A scoreless football game, Hutchinson and Highland. And a Blue Dragon timeout gives us this 30-second opportunity.
Hi, I'm Ken Hyman, General Manager of Midwest Superstore in Hutchinson. We're proud to be a sponsor of HCC Sports. You have choices when it comes to your vehicle purchases, and a better way is more than a slogan. Any new or select pre-owned purchase comes with our Advantage Rewards benefits. That includes complimentary car washes with every service visit, a loaner car with any major service, including oil changes and tire rotations. A better way also means no high-pressure sales taxes. Everyone has deals, but do they take care of you after the sale? Visit us at MidwestSuperstore.com and go Blue Dragons.
Football is sitting at the 28 of Hutchinson. It is fourth down, 10 yards needed by the Scotties to keep the drive alive. Time a little bit of a factor, actually a big factor with 29 seconds left.
Well, Ryan Rhodes talked that this would be the toughest defense his team had faced this year, and I think Hutchinson's got a pretty good defense as well. Two heavyweights swinging some big clubs here in the first half.
Kearns drops back, pressure comes over the middle, and oh my, did the pressure from Guy Victoria cause that attempt at a screen pass to get broken up. Kearns unloaded that like he was being chased down by a gang of thugs.
Devontae Jess, number 44, limps off the field. He was coming as well, but Guy Victoria in the quarterback's face, causing him to throw it early.
He was coming. That's like standing in the middle of a lane with a semi coming at you. Best move and get out of there.
He looked like Rocket Man there, as Donald Trump calls Kim Jong-un. He looked like a missile that was fired out of the backfield of the Dragons secondary.
I think the Dragons will play this very conservatively.
Yes,
Take
they'll
a knee
be
here.
A knee and go to the locker room.
And the final seconds will tick off of the first half clock, and we have proved not a thing. Hutchinson has been the better of the two teams in terms of moving the football, but not in terms of moving the lights on the scoreboard. They still say 0-0.
Highland will get the football when we start the second half.
And our halftime from Gowans starts in just 2 minutes.
Hello, my name is Dr. Brandy Weems, family practitioner at Summit Healthcare. We offer the full spectrum of family practice services, including well child checks, chronic disease management, and in-office procedures. Summit Healthcare is committed to providing quality family medicine and walk-in care to patients of all ages. As a Hutchinson native, I am honored to return to this wonderful community where the inspiration for my medical journey began. Schedule your appointment with me, Dr. Weems, at Summit Healthcare today, 662-6000.
It's football season, when the weather is warm one day and cold the next. Stay ahead of cold and flu season by drinking plenty of liquids, getting enough rest, and keeping your hands sanitized. Come see the friendly folks at Ashcraft Pharmacy, your locally owned Health Mart pharmacy, for over-the-counter medications to help alleviate symptoms. And if you need a prescription, we offer free mail-out, free delivery, or call ahead for our handy curbside service. Go Dragons! From Ashcraft Pharmacy in the Hart Shopping Center, South Hutchinson, and Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
We all like to save money when and where we can, right? You can do that every day at Salt City Pawn and Jewelry. Hi, this is owner Paul Phillips inviting you to stop in and say hi to our friendly staff. And while you're here, check out over 3,000 square feet of great merchandise priced at outstanding values. We don't have to offer huge sale prices for one day only when we do that on a daily basis. Save big over retail prices on firearms, electronics, guitars and amps, name brand tools, video games, jewelry, and more. See us at 916 East 4th and Hutch, just east of 4th and Severance. We're proud to be alumni and supporters of all Blue Dragon athletics.
HCC Sports is brought to you by the Sportscaster Club members, Portfolio Recovery Associates, Dr. Robert F. of the Hutchinson Clinic, Barkley Plumbing, Vernon Chiropractic Center, Tim and Gina Ritter, along with Brian Strange of the Green Vision Group, Sutton Kaufman Transmission Service, Wade Patton Insurance, A&A Builders, Bold Office Shares, Mega Manufacturing, MAYB, Mid-America Youth Basketball, Lowen Corporation, and by Mann, Wyatt & Rice, LLC. These Sportscaster Club members help provide funds for HCC scholarships.
Halftime at Gowans Stadium on this sunny, warm, and breezy Saturday afternoon, and a real defensive struggle going on. Neither team has been able to get on the scoreboard. We have a 0-0 halftime score, and I can't remember the last time I sat here and did a scoreless first half, but I can't say that anymore because that is exactly what has transpired over the course of the last hour. This is the first half Medicine Shop game capsule. The Medicine Shop would like you to know that they'll give you free delivery to your home or business. It's free if you're in town. If you live out of town, they'll mail your meds to you. Call to find out how the Medicine Shop can get your medicines to you efficiently and at no extra cost, or certainly very little. You'll find the Medicine Shop in Midtown Hutchinson. We've talked for years about the little white castle on the northwest corner of 14th and Main. Well, if ever there was a game in which we needed defensive stats to talk about, this would be it. Hutchinson in that first half, I'm looking at the first quarter stats. Now I need to have the halftime stats. Hutchinson in that first half did muster 9 first downs to just 2 for the Highland Scotties. But the Blue Dragons on 25 running plays, 17 yards. Wow, that is really impressive. Highland, though, 10 rushes, 7 yards. These teams are averaging less than a yard per carry. Hutchinson picked up 138 yards passing to 36 for Highland. So the total offensive numbers on the half, 155 for Hutchinson, 43 for the Scotties. The leading rusher in this game is Otis Williams of the Blue Dragons. He has 17 yards. The leading rusher for Highland has 13 yards. That's Kevin Brown. Cam Jones did a pretty good job of throwing it, 9 of 16. Did get 1 pass interception on a deflection, 138 yards. Kyle Kearns went 5 of 12 for 36 yards. Jalik Jagway caught 3 passes, leading the Dragons in that category. Albert Howard had a couple of grabs for the Scotties. The punters have both been pretty good. Lane Spiker averaging 43 yards, and Donovan Gagan on one punt against the wind got 39 yards out of it. If you're looking at total tackles in the first game, the leading tackler for Hutchinson, former Salt Hawk Colby Turner with 4. And for the Highland Scotties, Rico Hanna, one of those outstanding linebackers, has 6. It all adds up to zip, nothing. It adds up to a lot of work yet to be done by these two teams, with the second half looming just down the road. We'll take a 2-minute break and return with more from intermission.
We all like to save money when and where we can, right? You can do that every day at Salt City Pawn and Jewelry. Hi, this is owner Paul Phillips inviting you to stop in and say hi to our friendly staff. And while you're here, check out over 3,000 square feet of great merchandise priced at outstanding values. We don't have to offer huge sale prices for one day only when we do that on a daily basis. Save big over retail prices on firearms, electronics, guitars and amps, name brand tools, video games, jewelry, and more. See us at 916 East 4th and Hutch, just east of 4th and Severance. We're proud to be alumni and supporters of all Blue Dragon athletics.
For over 15 years, Erickson Custom Building has helped homeowners bring their remodel ideas to life. If you're looking to update a kitchen or bathroom, or hoping to remodel your entire home, trust the team at Erickson Custom Building. We create customized plans designed around your dreams, ideas, and budget. For quality and follow-through on any home project, call Erickson Custom Building at 620-585-2816 or visit ericksoncustombldg.com.
The Hutch Medicine Shop and the Hutch Blue Dragons have a lot in common. In addition to our logos both being blue, all 3 pharmacists at the Medicine Shop graduated from HCC. Rick Stone in 1984, Brent Bauman in 2001, and Lacey Stone in 2007. In fact, the Medicine Shop has employed over a dozen HCC students over the past 15 years who are now Kansas pharmacists. The Medicine Shop and the Blue Dragons working together as one team.
Just when you thought you were done with taxes, you got a letter from the IRS. Maybe you're being audited, or maybe you filed for an extension and still need some tax help. We at H&R Block are there for you. We don't stop working on April 15th. Our tax professionals are here to help you year-round. So if you have tax issues you need a hand with, even if H&R Block didn't do your taxes the first time around, visit our offices in Hutchinson, Lyons, or Ellsworth and let our experienced tax professionals help get you every dollar you deserve.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to, again, Gowans Stadium. Nothing at the half, 0 in a big defensive first half of play. Steve Carpenter now joining me up in the booth. And Steve, a lot of defense down there going on between Highland and the Blue Dragons.
Yeah, it is. I've been around this football program for now 23 years. I don't ever remember a 0-0 game at halftime.
That's what we were saying, too, is for sure 0-0 at halftime. Maybe there were some other well, we know there were some other teams that had no score because we had just won a couple weeks ago, but the same way with the Blue Dragons. So let's talk volleyball real quick. Let's go across the arena parking lot to the east here, and you had some really good games over there in the Blue Dragon Classic yesterday.
I knew that was going to be a great weekend for volleyball over at the sports arena, and Friday it proved out. The Blue Dragons went 2-0. They defeated Frank Phillips in 4, and then really stepped up and played one of their best matches of the year against number 6 Indian Hills, defeating them in 3 sets, 25, 14, 14, and 23. That was the best defensive match Patrick Hall's kids have played all year. Currently, they are playing right now against Odessa. They're in the 3rd set. They've won the first 2 sets against Odessa. And then scheduled for 3 o'clock, but everything is running behind the first match.
And we're running ahead
and
here.
We're running it. Yeah, don't let's not jinx that so I can get over there. But after the football game, or if you're at home listening, go on over to the sports arena. It's free admission as the Blue Dragons take on number 2 Iowa Western in the final match over on court number 1. So it's number 2 Iowa Western. They've already knocked off one top 10 this weekend. Who knows if they're going to knock off number 2? When they're playing really well and have a great chance to do so.
Well, awesome. And what about some of the other games that have been taking place over there?
Well, it's been a lot of good times. Former Blue Dragon coach Rhonda Shirley has her Navarro team in. They knocked off number 2 Iowa Western yesterday in 5 sets. They lost the first 2 sets and rallied to win in 5. That was a great match. Brandy Hood, former player, former assistant coach here in Hutchinson, is back with Tyler, and they are currently 2-1. They play again the final match this afternoon at 3 o'clock over on court 3. That's in the auxiliary gym. Mineral Area is undefeated through 3 matches. They are number 14, and they're like 19-0 in the. They're like 19-0 in the on the season, so they're a very good team. It was a 12-team tournament this year. A lot of teams wanted to come in and check out the national tournament, since we have the national tournament for the next 3 years, but they're playing on the courts where the national tournament's going to be held.
That was a nice draw. Yeah.
It really was. This was a great tournament field. 4 nationally ranked teams, some blue bloods of junior college volleyball are in there, and it was a tremendous weekend, and it's going to finish out here in just a few hours. So, if you, like I said, if you've got time and nothing going on, you don't need to be watching college football. You know, there's plenty of games tonight. You come out to the arena and watch some really good volleyball.
Yeah, exactly right. And, of course, maybe tune us in and catch the second half of this one. And if you're here, walk across, like I said, to the parking lot and take part in that one. Real quick update on soccer for this week. They were busy as well.
They are 8-0 right now. They are playing this afternoon out at Garden City. They're heavily favored in that one. So they play at 4 o'clock. You can watch that on the Blue Dragon Sports Network. Again, that stream starts at 4. They're on the road again. They got some big games coming up at Wednesday at Cloud County. It's going to be a huge one for conference. Cloud County is a very good team, going to provide a lot of challenges for the Blue Dragon soccer team. But right now they're ranked number 19 and are sitting undefeated at 8-0 going into today's matchup with Garden City.
And last but not least, Chris Young's team came in and seated ranked number 4 in the nation before their fall season starts.
Yep, they'll get their fall season going the first Monday and Tuesday of October. They'll be headed to Lubbock, Texas, and that's going to be a good young bunch to watch. They got Matt Percy is one of the sophomores returning. That is going to be really fun to watch. He has a chance to be All-American this year. He's that good. So Chris Young's group coming in with a lot of high expectations, as they always have, and we'll find out what they do in the fall season. Ranked number 4 in one poll, number 10 in the other.
Thank you, Steve. Appreciate it. Appreciate the update for Blue Dragon Sports. Again, Steve Carpenter, Sports Information Director at Hutch Community College. He's always available if you want to chat with him. He loves to talk everything right now but Husker football. He doesn't enjoy doing that too much. So little changes going on up there up north.
Well, I said my dad would make something happen up there, and sure enough, he gets the AD fired. He didn't do it, though. But, yeah, big changes up there. But, you know, Husker volleyball beat number 2 Penn State 3 sets in Penn State.
So there is some sunshine up there someplace.
There is, and it's on the volleyball court.
All right, we're going to take a 2-minute timeout. We are scoreless here, 0-0 tie between, again, the Highland Scotties and the Blue Dragons of Hutchinson. We're at halftime. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
Connected to serving the Hutchinson community. And you can expect the same kind of high-quality service when you visit Rothy Family Flooring. They believe you deserve to be treated like family, so they've invested in their own talented and trustworthy installers to lay your floors. No outside contractors will ever knock on your door if Rothy works for you. Let them show you their expansive selection of name brand flooring and trust your home to the best. Rothy Family Flooring, 325 North Main, Hutchinson.
It could be you just woke up feeling way too yucky, or one of your kids gets really scuffed up while playing. Whatever the reason, you might need same-day medical care. You'll really appreciate the Prairie Star Walk-In Clinic. We're concerned about your well-being, whether you have insurance or not. Welcome to the responsive care you deserve at Prairie Star Health Center, 30th and K61 in Hutchinson.
This is Carter File, president of Hutchinson Community College. The proud tradition of Blue Dragon Sports continues this fall. I encourage you to take advantage of the Blue Dragon All Sports ticket. For just $60 for adults and $40 for K through 12 students, you can enjoy over 50 athletic events at Hutchinson Community College. These are general admission tickets, which include football, volleyball, men's and women's basketball, baseball, and other selected events. Get yours today at the sports arena or at area Dillon stores. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and keep current on all Blue Dragon news and events at BlueDragonSports.com.
Are you caring for an elder parent or neighbor with physical limitations? It's difficult to get them in and out of a passenger vehicle, get them inside the building, and then go park your car. Reno County area transportation vehicles are designed to make this sort of travel easier on both of you. Let RCAT do the driving so you can concentrate on caregiving. Call 694-2913 for information.
Well, welcome back to Gowans Stadium. Rob Dreher along with Glenn Grunwald. Glad to have you along. And again, coming up, Rob, is the second half. It should be interesting. A long time, and we were just talking with Steve Carpenter since we've seen a 0-0 tie with this Hutchinson program here in football.
We knew that both these defenses were very good. We're seeing it out on the field. The good thing from a Hutchinson standpoint is their defense was not on the field near as much as this Highland team was. Hutchinson really dominating the first half. You look at the stats, 9 first downs to 2. I think that's going to pay dividends in the second half. Highland will get the ball to start the second half. Hutchinson force a 3-and-out, get a punt there, and maybe start down the right path here as we try to get out of this one with a win. This would be back-to-back weeks in which Hutchinson would have defeated really good ranked football teams.
Yeah, a little concerned about Dominique Taylor, center for the Blue Dragons, went off on crutches, and that could be a key injury that we need to check on in the second half. But he was on crutches as he went to the locker room.
Yeah, one of the team captains. He's graded out several times this year as one of the top 2 offensive linemen. Hard to replace guys like that. As Dragons coming out of the locker room, it is a very hot day. You were on the sideline that first half. All you did was stand there.
Exactly.
And you were tired.
I moved from the 20 to the 20 because that's as far as both offenses were able to get in.
That's true.
It is hot down there. Again, game time, it was at least 122 on the surface temperature of that turf down there. I'm sure it's even higher now. So we'll see what that wears. And Rusty called it. Fourth quarter is going to be interesting with cramps. We've had a few already, but we'll see what's going to happen out there in the second half. Some NCAA football by way of KJCCC football. There's only one other game, and that's Dodge City and Butler, and it just got underway at 1 o'clock. All the other games are tonight or later on this afternoon, so we'll keep you abreast of that. Louisville putting it on over Kent State, 35-3. Florida State bouncing. Well, actually, they trail right now. North Carolina State leading in the third period, 17-13. These are top 25 scores. Those are the ones that have started now. There's going to be some big games today and all across the top 25. Oklahoma and Baylor, that'll be interesting. That's an evening game. Michigan and Purdue, that's always a heck of a contest. That starts at 3 o'clock. See if we have any other scores. Ohio State 44, UNLV in the third, 14. That's in the third period of play. So a couple of big ones there. And also K-State in action later on. I think that's a late game this evening as well. See if they can bounce back after a tough loss last week on the road at Vanderbilt.
Well, it's Saturday. That's America. We love our football, and there's nothing better. And fans are treated here at Gowans Stadium right now to a good football game. I continue to look at that flag, the American and Kansas flag.
It's
and it's
12
about
to 15 miles per hour.
Blow off the pole now. It wasn't quite that windy at times in the first half. Wouldn't be surprised, Glenn, if the wind is even stronger here in the second half. And when you have the ball at your back, it may be important to take advantage. Hutchinson has had 2 opportunities to kick field goals with the wind at their back to where distance wasn't a factor. We just missed him wide left.
I'm watching Niemeyer warm up right now. He's kicking it from the 45, which is in a sense a 55-yard field goal, but that's on a tee. That's not with a holder. That's a little bit different. He's trying to work on his stroke because he was wide left twice. And let's see if he can get that down or not.
I'm pretty sure that Coach Rhodes said, I want you to go out there before we kick this thing off in the second half and put a few of them through the goalposts.
Special teams is always a small percentage, but at the time, certain times the ball game, it's the biggest percentage, and you don't have too much room for error. You really don't have any room for error, both in the punt game as well as the kicking game.
Would totally agree, and I look forward to this second half. I mean, it's been a treat. If you like good defenses, you have seen them, and it could boil down to turnovers. Think about this. Hutchinson turned the ball over a couple of times, and their defense didn't bend.
Exactly, and got lucky on a couple others. One was that punt that kick that actually went off the head of the helmet of a Hutch player that could have been a big turnover. They dodged a bullet at the end. Were able to hold on and take a knee and go in at halftime. We're scoreless, 0-0 tie. We're going to take a 2-minute timeout. We'll come back and get set for the second half of play here at Gowans Stadium. Your score from Gowans, Hutchinson 0 and Highland 0. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
For quality in product and in service, choose your Train air conditioning system from E&M Plumbing. E&M can supply you with high-efficiency Train systems with the same high-quality insulation you've come to expect from their long-time service experience. They'll answer any questions you have about the new high-efficiency Train units with no obligation. Thinking air conditioning? Think E&M Plumbing Incorporated, 701 West 2nd, 662-1281. After all, it's hard to stop a train.
No time to fix breakfast? Just call us at Anchor Away 662-3100 and we'll have it ready for you. Choose from our selection of breakfast burritos, biscuits, or one of our 5 different complete breakfast plates. Breakfast from 7 to 10:30, Monday through Saturday. If you missed us for breakfast, we're here for lunch and dinner too. Pick up your favorite Mexican dinner or take some home for the family. We're open till 9. That's Anchor Away, drive-through, carry-out, and catering under the water tower at B & Adams in Hutchinson, 662-3100.
Ever wonder why some wireless carriers charge so much more than others? At Nextech Wireless, you'll receive nationwide coverage, 4G LTE data, and unlimited data. But we don't overcharge you like some of the other carriers do. Plus, we have buy one, get one free smartphones and the best customer service. With more than 50 stores in our area, you can actually talk to us face to face. Tired of paying more and only getting more fees, charges, and a higher bill? Say goodbye to your carrier and hello to Nextech Wireless.
Hello, this is Tom Elliott of Elliott Mortuary, and again this year we are pleased to help sponsor HCC Blue Dragon Sports. We encourage you to support all the Blue Dragon games, both home and away, with your attendance, but if not, we hope you enjoy listening to the game here on KWBW and Country 102.9. Elliott Mortuary and Crematory, a proud sponsor of Hutchinson Community College, and honored to have served the families of Hutchinson and Reno County since 1935.
We were talking here in the press box during halftime and trying to recall the last 0-0 score that we had. Steve Carpenter, who never forgets anything, said it hasn't been in his 23 years of involvement with Hutchinson Community College. This is my 49th year of broadcasting, and I won't claim to never forgetting anything, but I don't remember one. It's been a long time.
Let's just say, yeah, it's been a long time, and we're going to see if we can get somebody to score. Hutchinson will kick off, and here's what I like. They're going to have the wind at their back in the fourth quarter with maybe the game on the line. I think that is a very huge factor. Let's see if we can't get a 3-and-out here early as we kick things off. First and foremost, let's stop the kick return.
And the kick is by Niemeyer. Spinning kick, floats down, taking it to the 28-yard line. And going to be a short return out to somewhere around the 35-yard line. And the Highland Scotties will have the football for the first possession of the second half. They mustered just 2 first downs in the game's first 30 minutes.
It's a pretty good special team tackle that time by Marcus Edwards, backup wide receiver from Florida. And that forces Highland to start, we'll call it decent field position, at about the 33.
I would think that Highland is going to try to open it up a little bit here with the wind at their back in the third quarter. This is a game that very easily, one touchdown might win it.
Sure could.
Low snap, fielded by Kearns, throws it out, and it's dropped. Throws it out to the 35-yard line, and it is just simply dropped.
Yep,
that
Price.
is a catch that should have been made.
Hit Price, number 85, right square between the numbers, and you know, you're going to get some positive yardage out of that. Now all of a sudden, receiver drops the ball. It's 2nd down and 10, and Highland's offense is not equipped to get out of these 2nd, 3rd down long situations.
Well, neither team was able to run it at all in the first half.
No, and we knew that would be the case.
2 wideouts to the left. They'll try the run, and the Dragons will snuff it out after a pickup of perhaps a couple of yards. Kevin Brown on the carry.
A lot of Dragons on the tackle. First there was 33, Drew Harvey. He's really flashed to me in this game again.
Pickup of closer to 3 yards on the play. Make it 3rd down and 7.
Rusty, I think the wind, too, as I look at those flags, are it's stronger now than it was at any time in the first half.
And again, it is at the back in the third quarter of Highland. Kyle Kearns stands back in the shotgun on 3rd and long, tosses it in the middle of the field, and it is caught for a first down. Nicely thrown and nicely snared by Albert Howard, the pass coming from Kearns, and it is a first down to start the second half.
That is the best throw that we have seen. Now, one of the officials comes in from the backside and said that's an incomplete pass, and I'm telling you, Glenn Grunwald, you're on the field. I thought it was complete. He caught it.
Yeah, I thought he caught it too, but they're saying incomplete, so maybe he juggled it. And
officials are going to get
That's
their
one,
heads together.
If this were on television, we'd be looking at a lot of different looks at it. The officials don't have that luxury here. If he got his hands under it, it was only barely. And the official saying he did not, it'll be an incomplete pass.
They're saying what I said. He bobbled it and then it hit the ground.
Nope, it's a first down.
Yeah, he said, but it is a catch.
It was a catch.
Yeah.
And what happened is he caught it, and then he just flipped the ball out to the turf after he caught it. It was kind of deceiving from the back official, but it was a clean catch from my vantage point up here.
The back judge made the call on that one.
Right.
And the ball's on the ground. The Dragons are right there wrestling with the running back for possession. And it'll be a loss on the play. Hutchinson not able to come up with a football, but on first down, a loss of 3 or 4 yards.
And a loss of possibly a player, a guy down for Highland as he is on his back and the training staff quickly out on the field.
Yeah, I don't know if this one's a cramp or not. He seems to be in quite a bit of pain.
Well, it is the time of day in which you would think cramps will start to be a factor. In visiting with Coach Rhodes on Thursday morning, he said, we've been working on Gatorade and Pedialyte all week long trying to get our players hydrated.
It's, for the most part, paid off. We've seen a couple of cramps in the game. Let's take a 30-second timeout as we tend to this injury. Back at Gowans Stadium in half a minute.
Hi, I'm Ken Hyman, General Manager of Midwest Superstore in Hutchinson. We're proud to be a sponsor of HCC Sports. You have choices when it comes to your vehicle purchases, and a better way is more than a slogan. Any new or select pre-owned purchase comes with our Advantage Rewards benefits. That includes complimentary car washes with every service visit, a loaner car with any major service, including oil changes and tire rotations.
Kevin Brown.
A better way also means no high-pressure sales tax. Everyone has deals, but do they take care of you after the sale? Visit us at MidwestSuperstore.com and go Blue Dragons.
Well, Kevin Brown is the injured player. He's the leading rusher on this team on the season. He walks off the football field putting weight on both feet, so we'll have to watch and see whether he returns. A loss on the play officially is just 2 yards. It is a 2nd and 12.
He is on the training table, though, across the way and being tended to as we speak.
Kearns pumps once and throws on the sideline. It is broken up by Jerry Jacobs, and it'll be a 3rd down and 12.
Textbook coverage by Jacobs. Got his hand in there, Glenn. You can't do it any better.
No, he just reached around, did not touch his left hand on the shoulder pad, just perfect. And he's got a birthday coming up on Tuesday.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah. Favorite dessert is red velvet cake.
Well, I think we'd all eat some of that right now.
All right, here we go. 3rd down. Dragons trying to get this offense off the field. 3rd down and a dozen. Kearns back in the shotgun, takes the snap, drops back 2 steps, unloads over the middle of the field, throws it behind his intended receiver, and incomplete.
Blitz came. Quinn Head leading the pack, decked the quarterback, had to get rid of it quicker than he wanted, threw it into the turf. Dragon defense does it again. They force a punt. Now, Highland will be punting with the wind at their back and expect this not to be great field position for Hutchinson.
Here's a situation where Deshaun Waller very much wants this punt to either sail into the end zone or he wants to have a chance at a return.
And special team units for both teams have been spectacular. I mean, nobody has had really any breathing room to return anything.
Snap is good. Spiker's punt, high, beautiful.
Wow.
Watch that one go. That's going to land in the end zone.
Holy cow. That was kicked out of the zip code.
57 yards officially, but it lit well into the end zone.
Yeah.
That thing soared about 65 yards in all.
I'm going to real quick tell that story last night. That was a majestic punt there.
It was.
Rusty. He had a parent come up to him at Derby, and his son last year was a punter. And Rusty describes his punts as majestic, and there was an Arkansas recruiter that heard that and took a look at this kid, and now he's down in Arkansas.
And the dad was nice enough a year later to come to the press box last night and tell us how much he appreciated it.
That's awesome, Rusty. Good story. Glenn Grunwald, Sideline Reports, will tell you who they're brought to you by after this play.
Cam Jones under center, hands off, and the Dragons try the middle.
Nothing.
That is Mr. Emmons, and
Emmons.
he didn't get anything.
A little after the play curricular activity taking place.
Sideline Reports brought to you by Jackson Meat. Call 662-4465. Oliver's Beef and Brew at 925 East 30th, and by Ty Cahoon Kinesiology.
Yeah, and Oliver's also in Little River. They have a location in Little River as well.
Second down 10. These teams simply cannot run on each other, period. Nope. Remains to be seen whether they'll shake somebody loose here in the second half, but so far each team averaging less than a yard per carry.
And the officials are going to blow this dead. It's going to be a false start, I believe, against Hutchinson, and that'll cost him 5. Hey, only one penalty in the first half. Listen to this. Not a penalty thrown for Highland in the entire first half. So it's been a mistake-free game, basically, from that standpoint for both teams.
But this puts Hutchinson in a second down and 15 situation. Dragons working against the wind would love to somehow find a couple of first downs before they have to punt it.
You know, the middle of the field was open in the first half. I suspect that has something that has been corrected by this Highland defense. We'll see. Find out where the weaknesses are here in the second half and if we can expose them.
Quarterback Cam Jones under center, drops back, play action, throws it out in the flat, throws a, oh my goodness, he threw it right into the hands of Rico Hanna. I mean, he could have walked into the end zone.
I think he was so right to him that it surprised him.
Oh my goodness, what a break by the Dragons. That had touchdown Highland written all over it.
That is the play of the game, and it's a play in which Highland doesn't make a play because it hit him right in the hands, nobody in front of him. Easiest touchdown Highland's going to get the entire game, and that is a horrible throw and decision that time by Jones. Really the first time he's made a mistake this game.
Maybe the whole season, the easiest one they could have had.
Goodness.
All right, third down. Jones will stick with the pass, steps up in the pocket, throws it upfield, and throws it way over the head of Aaron Shannon.
Flag.
Incomplete.
This could be roughing the passer.
It could be.
And the receiver that time, Shannon, who has kind of been the go-to guy in this game, he's got 2 catches for 44 yards, was wide open. Ball sailed over his head. And I think this is going to be a first down for the Dragons.
That's
roughing the passer.
Huge break. Now it's running into the quarterback. It will automatic, yeah.
Doesn't matter.
The ball will come out to the 30. There is consecutive mistakes on 2 plays in a row by Highland. The first should have been a pick 6, and the Dragons should have been punting on the next one, and they're bailed out by a personal foul.
And what it does is extends time for that Highland defense that's been on the field a ton of this game.
And it gets you out of tough field position.
Officials are going to blow the play dead here as they're waiting to reset the clock. Game clock will not start until his signal, of which was right there.
All right, the Blue Dragons find themselves at their own 30 with an unlikely fresh set of downs. And the Dragons hand off and get some yardage up the middle. There was pressure coming down the middle, and the Dragons ran right through it. Ball carrier for Hutchinson was Otis Williams, and he got about 4 on first down, and that's a big run in this game.
It really was. Otis also covering up the football. I think he could have maybe bounced to the outside because he had some openings, but wasn't the case.
Hey, 4 yards on first down against this defense, that is like gold.
Second down 6 at the 34. Hutchinson working against the wind. Dragons go back to the run and are able to slip outside for a couple on the right side to the 36-yard line.
Pickup of 2. It'll be third down 4. Dragons now in a third down manageable situation. Probably got to go to the air. Too hard to run on this defense, and see if you can slip one of those tight ends in the middle of the field again.
Otis Williams, a couple of carries here. Good for 7 yards.
Dragons have rushed 4 backers. Williams, Jackson, Emmons, and Waller in the game.
Emmons is in there now on third down, long 3. Jones under center. Fakes a handoff to Emmons, being chased, eludes pressure, floats it upfield, and it is incomplete.
Never had a chance, Glenn, because he was under pressure from the time the ball was snapped.
Yeah, he was getting to the sidelines, intended receiver on the far side. Also, the close one, too, it was Jason Poe, but he didn't have a chance to get to it. So, fourth down punting situation. 1 defensive lineman, you will not have to call his number anymore today. Devontae Jest has the pads off and has a wrap on his knee.
Yeah, he played well in the first half, too, but they have depth at the line position this year. And, you know, this possession's okay. You kept the defense out on the field. You didn't turn it over, didn't make a mistake. Now you need a good punt.
And you're not punting from your 15-yard line like you might have been had it not been for the foul on third down in the last set of downs. Dragon punt is a line drive. Takes a wonderful bounce for Hutchinson and scoots across the 30, across the 25 to the 23. Yeah. That is a tremendous punt against the wind. 40 yards.
40 yards, and Gaggan punted that way. Darren Dunn described it last week in Garden City. Gaggan drops that point of the football down and gets that end over end on it. It's not the prettiest punt in the world, but it does get some mileage with legs on it as it takes it all the way down deep in Highland territory.
But he's smart, Glenn. How many punters do you see with a wind like this? Don't change it.
Try to outpunt the wind,
just kick it in the air, and you have no chance. That is smart punting by your punter, and that right there changed field position.
Highland, with the game still 0-0, starts with the quarterback being buried. Ball pops loose. Dragons scramble for it, and Hutchinson, I think, has recovered a fumble at about the 10 or 11-yard line, and that is the case.
Quinn Head, the ball was poorly snapped, and a Dragon was there to pick it up. Quinn Head with the biggest play of the football game.
And that is the first turnover of the game on the Highland Scotties, and it is a costly one as Hutchinson starts after the error on the part of the Scotty offense at the 12.
And any other defense right here, you'd feel good that the Dragons could get points. But the way Highlands played, it's not a guarantee that you're going to get points out of this.
It's not even a guarantee of a field goal.
No, absolutely not. Hutchinson has to get points here.
Deshaun Waller is the deep back. Jones under center. They give it to Waller. Waller pounds the middle, a yard.
Maybe two, but there's just not much running room against this stout defense from Highland.
You just have to have all kinds of respect, particularly for the interior of that defense. We talked over and over again in that first half about Jakeem Green, the defensive tackle. He was a factor there once again.
I respect Coach Rhodes, too, because they saw it on film, and they said this is going to be the biggest test we've had this football season, and it's come to fruition.
2nd down and 9. Dragons can pick up a first down at the 2. And they give to Emmons, and Emmons, trying to battle his way forward, does get inside the 10 to the 9. That'll be a gain of perhaps as much as 2 yards. Yeah. It'll be 3rd and 7, and you have to come out of this at the very least with a field goal.
Yeah, you got to have points. Big 3rd down call coming up.
Hey, 3-0, Glenn might win this.
He could.
There was a high school football game, guys, yesterday. Won, I believe it was by Hoisington. 2-0. A safety won the football game.
3rd down 7, ball at the 9 of the Scotties, the game tied. I'd be surprised to see Hutchinson throw it.
I think you,
fumbled snap, and the Dragons dive on top of it back at the 20, and now you're probably out of field goal range.
4th time in this game that we have seen a poor snap come from center, and you're exactly right. That is the most costly play of the game for Hutchinson, where they for sure had a field goal. They'll send the field goal unit out there, but this is going to be tough.
This has been a football season in which we have seen continual problems with the snaps, not only in this game and not only on the part of the Dragons. With the quarterbacks operating in the shotgun 3 or 4 yards deep, it's not an automatic thing to get the ball to the quarterback. Niemeyer will try to get the points on this game, and the field goal attempt is short. He is 0 for 3.
Somebody got a hand on it, Glenn.
I didn't see that, but keep in mind you have a different center out there, guys. On that high snap, we have a player hurt.
It's a Highland Scotty down at number 5, I believe, if I can read the number, and that'd be Trey Barrett. Well, golden opportunity. You almost wished on that turnover the Dragon defender could have scooped the ball up and ran for a touchdown, because it might take an interception or a score by your defense in this game to win, because neither offense has been able to do anything.
What a job done there. Let's just give all kinds of credit to the Highland Scotties. They could have been devastated by the turnover. They weren't. They turned the Dragons away, and this game is still scoreless. They continue to tend to the injured player, and while they do that, we're going to hear for the next 30 seconds from these folks.
If you suffer any kind of sports injury, call the outstanding doctors at Pinnacle Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. Doctors Lowen and Severud have effectively treated virtually every kind of sports injury. They use the most advanced arthroscopic surgical techniques available to medicine. You'll also work closely with their highly trained physical therapists every step of your rehab. Get back in the game with Pinnacle Sports Medicine. Call 662-6000 to schedule your appointment or visit them online at summitks.com.
Injured player is up.
Injured player is up.
Gingerly making his way off the field. On the missed field goal, it comes back out to the 20. Still a scoreless football game. Hutchinson has had 3 reasonable field goal opportunities in this game, and Luke Niemeyer has come up empty on all 3 after being 2 of 2 on the season coming in.
I wonder how many times the Blue Dragons have gone 0 for 3 in a game from field goal standpoints, and my goodness, if even one of them goes through, that might be good enough to win this game.
Scotties go back to work with time to throw, and they flip it out in the left flat for a short gain. Ronnie Jameson had to come back to get to the football, and he's pushed out of bounds very near the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, maybe a gain of 1.5 yards. That's big news in this game if there's anything big. Now, Hutchinson, every game this year has had one breakdown in the secondary where there's been a huge play. Cannot afford a lapse in concentration in this one.
I hope you're knocking on wood up there someplace.
I did. I knocked on Rusty's head.
All right, that's the closest wood thing that I know up there.
And he's not even going to comment. We're going to let that one slide.
Leave me alone, Woody. Quarterback back, wants to throw, being chased. Down he goes inside the 20, back at the 15-yard line.
It's Talon Humphrey, 99, one of the team captains, maybe the best defensive lineman in junior college football. At least the scouting services say he's the best.
Well, there's not many that are 360 and mobile.
He will play at a big-time Division I school next year.
It is a 3rd down and 15. Now, maybe the Dragons secondary can get a pick or something here. At the very least, the Dragons are not allowing Highland to take advantage of the wind at their back. Kearns throws it. It's juggled and incomplete. Threw it short, and the receiver got a hand on it. That was Albert Howard. He couldn't come up with it. A Blue Dragon defensive back tried to get his feet tried to get his hands underneath the football as it fell down. But it's an incomplete pass and punt time.
It's Jerry Jacobs, and he has been spectacular from his defensive back position in this game. When they watch film and grade things, Jacobs is going to grade very, very high. He has just stuck to the receiver all game long, and now maybe it takes a special team play. Maybe you break one here off this return because offensively you haven't been able to get anything done.
Lane Spiker is the punter. He stands right on the goal line, gets a perfect snap, gets off.
Wow.
Another big punt. Waller fields it over his shoulder at the 30, starts the path upfield and has his feet just slip out from under him, falls on his backside at the 40.
It's great field position, but hey, Hutchinson last possession was inside the 20-yard line with the ball and could not find a way to get any points. You just wonder if anyone is ever going to score in this game.
Well, we know that somebody will because we'll be here all afternoon until somebody does. Hutchinson begins at the 40. Hutchinson 0, Highland 0. Jayhawk Conference football coming your way on Country 102.9 KHUT. 7:13 to play in the 3rd quarter. Cam Jones, they
Great
off
job.
sides.
First time in the game, we have the offensive coordinator in our booth next to us, and he about kicked the
he about took the window out earlier on.
He really did, and I understand it because that's just not watching the football, trying to get a jump on the ball. Huge for Hutchinson. Now it's 1st down and 5.
And the ball situated at the 45 on the Hutchinson half of the field.
Love this crew that's doing this game. That is only the 4th penalty of the game in this contest. Both teams with 2 flags in the game. It's been cleanly played.
At the 45-yard line. Cam Jones hands off and 1 yard. I'm going to tell you what. I have never seen a game in which there just simply have been no running plays of significance. And I mean absolutely none for either team.
Yeah, we knew it was going to be that way. And Hutchinson just rushing 15 yards. Highland has -7 for the game. So if you add it up, I mean, between the two teams combined, we have 8 positive yards.
Dragons send Marcus Edwards wide to the left side, stacked receivers on the right side of the formation on 2nd down and 4. Jones drops straight back, tosses it out. Nice grab at the 50-yard line, pulled in somehow by Otis Williams. He falls forward for a first down. That was a miraculous grab.
Spectacular catch, even better throw because Jones was getting plastered to the turf as he let go of the football. Hutchinson has got to protect the quarterback up front and do a better job. But, yes, great catch.
One of the great plays in the game, and it went for just 5 yards.
We get excited, but that's how good these defenses have been.
Hutchinson does have it in Scotty country at the 49. They go back to the run, trying to get to the edge. Nothing doing. Maybe a gain of a yard.
Maybe 2, but you still have to stick with the run, keep the defense honest, and still waiting for the Dragons to do a play-action pass like that and slip something behind the linebackers and maybe get a big play.
Give Otis Williams, it was Otis. Give him 2 yards on the carry. Hutchinson with the ball at the 47 and a 2nd down.
The backers are cheating up. If I see it, I know the offensive coordinators from Hutchinson see it.
Jones looks, middle of the field, steps up, hit as he throws, delivers it to Waller. Waller with the catch across the 40. First down, Dragons at the 38. Nice job of running after the catch by DeJohn Waller.
Late flag comes flying in. Tell you what Waller does, he makes people miss. If he's got an open field, he's going to make you miss. Good move over there to get to the stick for the first down.
That has to be a play, I would think, against Highland because it came late. But I'm not sure, unless it was away from...
Dragons are backing up.
Yep, then this is probably going to be a block in the back away from the play, and that's so unfortunate. That is going to be my guess. I saw a Highland player go down with the Blue Dragon blocking that had nothing to do with the play, and I'll bet that's going to be it. Block in the back, Hutchinson, and there's your penalty.
Dragons have been much better in the penalty category in this game, but that is a costly one. Hutchinson would have had a first down at the 38. Now the ball is going to be brought way back to the 48.
Well, on this drive, Highland had the offside that gave Hutchinson a 1st and 5. They picked up a first down. And now a killer penalty in which Hutchinson has a first down. It's 2nd down and 9.
Trips right.
Because of the penalty.
Cam Jones in the gun. Takes the snap, drops back, has time, now runs out of it. Down he goes.
Good coverage downfield. He initially had time to throw Glenn Grunwald, but sometimes you do a good job in the secondary.
Yeah, they really did. Secondary's covered up nicely. He only had a second right there. Williams had good coverage. Dominic Williams for Highland over here in that corner position.
So it is a 3rd down and a dozen.
No score in this game. If you're just tuning in, we are at the 4:37 mark of the 3rd quarter, and defenses have been spectacular.
Dragons deploy 3 receivers right, 1 left. The middle of the field was open in the first half, has not really been so here in the second. Jones throws it in the middle of the field, almost threw an interception. That thing hit Isaiah Gray in the hands. He couldn't hang on to it. It'll be 4th down.
Not a good throw. Had time, and fortunate that ball wasn't picked because the defender was more wide open than the receiver. And once again, the punter is out for Hutchinson.
Donovan Gagan. One thing the Dragons are doing, though, they're winning the battle of field position, even though they have worked against the wind here in the 3rd quarter, which still has 4:14 to go.
And they'll have the wind at their back in the 4th quarter. Can that benefit Hutchinson offensively? We will find out soon.
It hasn't benefited anybody yet.
Nope.
Gagan's punt. This time it's a little higher. Dragons with good coverage downfield takes a nice Hutchinson roll and rolls down to the 14.
That is actually it's going to be inside the 50, up down to the 14-yard line. Rusty, you see
And
better than I do.
You called me wood-headed. I don't know about
You just see better than I do.
She says it's going to be at the 14, and Rob says, no, I think it's going to be at the 14.
I think it's going to be at the 14. I just wanted to argue with you.
Picked up about 15 yards off the bounce there, getting that end over end after it hits.
He's been spectacular punting. You know, you have him backed up again. The defense has not broken yet.
Just don't give up the one big play that gets them out of trouble.
I'll give you an amen to that.
Again, they shift 2 players to the left side of the formation, unbalanced line to that side. Long count. Kearns wants to throw, throws back the other direction. It's dropped. Just flat dropped. Should have been caught right in the hands of Tyreek Williams, but he can't hang on.
That was a different quarterback. That's Tristan Spear in there now.
Well, he couldn't have thrown it any better. And that is the 3rd time by my count that a ball has been perfectly thrown and a Highland receiver has dropped it. And from Hutchinson's standpoint, you're loving it.
Tristan Spear is a 5'11", 205-pounder from Troy, Kansas. He has a 2nd down and 10. Gets a high snap, hands off, and the timing off just a little bit, although I'm not certainly going to blame the outcome of the play on that because nobody's been able to run it. That was no exception. Loss on the play of a yard. Highland continues to have negative rushing yards and not much positive yardage passing-wise. And the Scotties look at 3rd and 11 at their 13-yard line.
98 Tyrus Butler, that time engulfing the back. And, yeah, passing yards in this game, only 43 passing yards for Highlands. Hutchinson has 152. They've dominated that statistically, but the scoreboard's where you look, and neither team has scored.
Only one team has been inside the 10-yard line. That was Hutchinson, only momentarily because they promptly mishandled a snap.
And it was because of a turnover.
Now being chased and dumped inside the 5-yard line is Tristan Spear. That's a coverage sack as much as anything. He had time to look 2 or 3 directions, couldn't get rid of it. And now the punt will come with the punter standing in the end zone. And Hutchinson might, I repeat, might, because this wind is really stiff right now, 20, 25 mile an hour. Hutchinson might get exceptional field position.
Xavier Jackson, number 29, with the sack, penetration in the backfield. They will punt this ball with it marked at the 5 deep in the end zone. You know, a safety might win him.
Yeah,
maybe you snap it over his head.
Bringing the house here.
Spiker stands about a yard from the back end of that end zone, gets a high snap, pulls it down, gets off a punt, and Waller takes it at the 45-yard line, starts upfield to the 40, to the 35, and down to the 33-yard line. Blue Dragons with great field position. Scoreless football game, 2:16 to go in the 3rd.
He was one guy away, Glenn, from breaking that.
Well, and also, if you look at the Highland coaches, Deshaun started to do the fair catch signal and had his hand up and pulled it down quickly and decided to take that. That's what the coaches over there are yelling at the officials about, hey, he was signaling for the fair catch, and our guys pulled off.
Well, this simple. You have excellent field position again. You're still going with the wind. Against the wind, can Hutchinson find a way? Hey, if you even pick up a couple of first downs here, you could get to the 4th quarter with the wind at your back.
Cam Jones under center, hands off, shaky handoff, and the Dragons lose 3 on a first down run. Nice play defensively by Rico Hanna, the linebacker for Highland.
I'd love to see a spot chart on the running game because it is right up the middle and there's never anything there, and Emmons looks to be hurt.
He is. It's a cramp again. I saw him grab that calf. Helmet popped off. They'll stretch him out. 2nd time he's cramped up in this game.
Yeah, actually, it's the other leg this time, so it's a different leg. Same situation, though.
Yeah, we talked about this at the onset of the game. It is just simply too hot to play football down there on turf. You talked about the temperature on the turf at the start of the game as being well over 100 degrees.
Umpire having to move some of the Highland players back. They're talking a little smack to Emmons as he's down on the ground being attended to, and the umpires and back judges all move them off.
All right, let's take a break while they tend to the cramp of Mr. Emmons. We'll be back in half a minute.
It's football season, when the weather is warm one day and cold the next. Stay ahead of cold and flu season by drinking plenty of liquids, getting enough rest, and keeping your hands sanitized. Come see the friendly folks at Ashcraft Pharmacy, your locally owned Health Mart pharmacy for over-the-counter medications to help alleviate symptoms. And if you need a prescription, we offer free mail-out, free delivery, or call ahead for our handy curbside service. Go Dragons! From Ashcraft Pharmacy in the Hart Shopping Center, South Hutchinson, and Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
I am not at all sure that that's a cramp that B.J. Emmons has there.
Yeah.
They help him off the field. He's not putting any weight at all on that right foot. Second down, 12 for Hutchinson at the 35 of Highland. Bad snap, but they blow the play dead anyhow.
Now remember, Taylor's hurt, and he was the center, so you got a different snapper in there. And that's having an effect on his game right now. Let's see what the call is going to be.
Dragons are backing up, probably procedure.
Fourth penalty against the Dragons. It is a false start penalty.
But every time Hutchinson gets a break in terms of field position, they shoot themselves in the foot, and they're in reverse.
And it was a bad snap when Hutchinson had it inside the 15-yard line last time that blew things up.
So it is second down and 18. Rolling to his right, Jones delivers a pass on target at the 35-yard line. That'll be a pickup of about 5. That completion to Marcus Edwards.
Yeah, maybe 4. Not, you know, the way these defenses are playing, though, third down and long here is still going to be tough, 3rd and 12.
Yeah, we're scoreless still with 1:24 to go in this third period. Crazy.
And I'm not sure what field goal range is on this part of the field going into that wind. I would think you got to get the ball down somewhere inside the 15. That would be a first down. Jones with time to throw, floats in the middle of the field, complete at the 20, and down to the 13-yard line with a wonderful snag. Jalik Jagway, who is having his best game of the season.
Excuse me, that was Lumpkin on the catch.
Was it Johnny?
Yeah, Johnny on the catch, and same result though, big snag, and took it all the way to they'll mark it at the 13.
He's 6'6", and
81
they threw it
as
up.
opposed to 87.
That's right. Easy to misread those numbers, but that was the tight end showing his height, pulling a ball down up in the air. Great throw by the quarterback.
First down, Dragons. And now they go back to Waller. And Waller spinning, working hard, gets to the 10. That's a gain of about 3.
And that is a great run, as it's been tough to get more than a yard or 2 against this defense. So, you know, now you're in a situation where are you in 4-down territory to try to score?
What you're going to do, you're going to let the seconds tick away in this
the
third
wind
quarter
behind
and
you.
have the wind behind you when we start the fourth quarter. Hutchinson in an enviable spot, if one can be said to be in an enviable spot in a 0-0 game. Both teams are moving to the sideline. The final seconds of the third quarter ticking away. We're still scoreless, but Hutchinson will have a chance when the fourth quarter starts in a minute.
And where we can, right? You can do that every day at Salt City Pawn and Jewelry. Hi, this is owner Paul Phillips inviting you to stop in and say hi to our friendly staff. And while you're here, check out over 3,000 square feet of great merchandise priced at outstanding values. We don't have to offer huge sale prices for one day only when we do that on a daily basis. Save big over retail prices on firearms, electronics, guitars and amps, name brand tools, video games, jewelry, and more. See us at 916 East 4th and Hutch, just east of 4th and Severance. We're proud to be alumni and supporters of all Blue Dragon Athletics.
HCC Sports is brought to you by the Sportscaster Club members, Portfolio Recovery Associates, Dr. Robert F. of the Hutchinson Clinic, Barkley Plumbing, Vernon Chiropractic Center, Tim and Gina Ritter, along with Brian Strange of the Green Vision Group, Sutton Kaufman Transmission Service, Wade Patton Insurance, A&A Builders, Old Office Shears, Mega Manufacturing, MAYB, Mid-America Youth Basketball, Lowen Corporation, and by Mann, Wyatt, and Rice, LLC. These Sportscaster Club members help provide funds for HCC scholarships.
The Blue Dragons start the fourth quarter in a scoreless battle with Highland with the football at the Scotty 10-yard line. It is for Hutchinson a second down, 6.5. Dragons hurry out of the huddle, give to Emmons, and Emmons pounds his way forward inside the 5 to the 4. That's the first time we've seen the Dragons rush out of that formation to the line of scrimmage, and it worked nicely to set up a 3rd and 2.
Yep, quick snap caught the defense off guard. Now you'll regroup on a 3rd down and 2. You'll have a decision to make here. If you come up a little bit short, whether you kick the field goal or you go for it. I'd just as soon pick the first down up.
How about Emmons? He looked like he might be done for the afternoon. He gets another carry, battles for what he can. Doesn't get to
Loose
first down,
ball.
fumbled the football.
Highland says they have it, but no official call yet. I think a Dragon got off the pile with it.
We fumbled. Hutchinson got the football, and we'll trot the field goal unit out.
Yeah, take the field goal, because Hutchinson is really making a lot of mistakes in the red zone. That is uncharacteristic for this football team over the course of the season. They've been tremendous. Now it will be Blue Dragon kicker Luke Niemeyer called on to knock it through from 23 yards away. He is 0 for 3 in this game, 2 of 5 on the season. Snap is okay. The kick is blocked. The kick comes ricocheting out to the side. It is picked up by the Scotties, and they can return it. And racing out across the 30 to the 33-yard line with the football in his possession for Highland after the block, Dominique Williams, and the Blue Dragons cannot get it done again.
I have never seen this kind of game in which Hutchinson now has had 4 field goal opportunities and they cannot get a single point.
All of them realistic field goal opportunities.
All of them. And 3 of the 4 with the wind at their back, that time penetration, and the ball was just cleanly blocked. You may not get any more opportunities like this.
Dominic Williams might have got the block, and he came up with the loose ball and returned it. And some stuff happened over on the sideline. They're sorting it out right now midfield.
The officials talking about it. Right now the situation is the game remains scoreless. That was really nothing more than an extra point. And Niemeyer, who has been kicking them very low in this game, did it again, and that one knocked down at the line of scrimmage, came ricocheting out to the right.
All right, there was a sideline violation on Highland. Player ran on the field after the play, then went off, 5-yard penalty. So that is going to back Highland up 5 yards. And
hey, they're thrilled.
Oh, of course they're thrilled.
The Dragons have had the ball inside the 10 twice in this game and have come away empty. Highland hasn't really moved it at all, but all it takes is one play. And Highland has a field goal kicker with range out to 46 yards, though here in the fourth quarter, that range probably would be more like 30 because of the wind.
Yeah, we're fortunate now Highland's going against the wind, but you can't have any lapses here on defense.
Quarterback is Tristan Spear. Takes the snap and is going to eat it. Dragons are all on top of him, and down he goes back at the 23-yard line for a loss of 5.
Yeah, Brown with a huge play right there. Drug him down, make sure he couldn't throw it away, and it marks it back to the 23.
It's a great play by 28. Sideline Reports brought to you by Jackson Meats, Oliver's Beef and Brew, and Cahoon Kinesiology.
Yeah, you have kids' dollar menu on Saturdays before or after the game with an adult entree purchased at Oliver's Beef and Brew. Don't forget they're open at Little River.
As brutal as this game is, there may be some players needing Cahoon Kinesiology on Monday. It is 2nd and 15 at the 23. Spear gets a high snap and will take off with it. Dragons chasing. He's got room to get the edge, and a nice play made by Blue Dragon defender Adrian Cross as he came a long ways to contain a play that looked like it might turn into significant yardage.
Player down for Highland as he was tackled on the sideline, and Cross's job on that play is contain, and he did it exceptionally well. Made a great one-on-one tackle, because if they get outside across there, he's still running, and it would have been a huge play.
Yeah, third different quarterback Highlands used. That might have been kind of a wildcat possibly, because it was Xavier Shepard Jr., the quarterback.
Hutch was having no part of it. And let's take a timeout. 30-second break. Back with more football from Gowans Stadium at a scoreless game after this 30-second timeout.
And they're motioning for.
Yeah, we'll take the timeout.
Remodel ideas to life. If If you're looking to update a kitchen or bathroom or hoping to remodel your entire home, trust the team at Erickson Custom Building. We create customized plans designed around your dreams, ideas, and budget. For quality and follow-through on any home project, call Erickson Custom Building at 620-585-2816 or visit ericksoncustomBLDG.com.
Well, this is going to take a while because they're bringing the cart out, and trainers looked at the player down, and we're not going to speculate on who it is until we're absolutely sure. But immediately motion bring the cart on. And all of a sudden, the significance of a football game pales in comparison with the importance of doing a good job of taking care of the injured player. It is a Highland Scottie, and this is going to take a while. Let's take a 1-minute break.
A Hutchinson Medicine Shop. With the emergence of big business, not only in pharmacy, but all industries, the Medicine Shop is proud to be a thriving local business in Hutchinson. We're so thankful to our customers in Hutchinson, Reno County, and Central Kansas for your support. In turn, we're proud to be a major sponsor of the Hutch High Salthawks, as well as other area high schools, the Blue Dragons, Chiefs, Royals, Jayhawks, and Wildcats. You support us, and the Hutchinson Medicine Shop supports local sports.
Just when you thought you were done with taxes, you got a letter from the IRS. Maybe you're being audited, or maybe you filed for an extension and still need some tax help. We at H&R Block are there for you. We don't stop working on April 15th. Our tax professionals are here to help you year-round. So if you have tax issues you need a hand with, even if H&R Block didn't do your taxes the first time around, visit our offices in Hutchinson, Lyons, or Ellsworth, and let our experienced tax professionals help get you every dollar you deserve.
They continue to tend to the injured player. The cart was there momentarily.
Yeah,
now the cart's returned to its original spot. Glenn, I'm not sure. I can't tell
Shepherd.
what's happening.
It's Shepherd, and they're attending to him, and looks like it could be a shoulder possibly. And the cart was there if they needed to pull him off, and he can actually just about roll out of bounds there, but that's not the case. They're going to attend to him, make sure that caution is taken. He might have dislocated his shoulder possibly, or a knee. I know those are two different areas,
Well,
but I can't tell from here.
I think
it is Xavier Shepherd, who is, as Glenn pointed out, the injured player. He's from Atlanta, Georgia, and that was his first snap in the football game. He took it to the left-hand side, got pushed out of bounds, and that's where we're at.
The only thing that I will say is hopefully you don't have to see the stretcher come back or an ambulance and it be a neck issue.
Yeah.
If it's a shoulder, a knee, or something like
can
that,
get him off, yeah.
you're going to be okay. But when you start messing with the neck and the head and that kind of stuff, it becomes scary.
Dr. Lowen from Pinnacle Sports comes over now, and they're attending to the, looks like the lower section, guys.
Pinnacle Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, one of our sponsors of Blue Dragon football here on the radio, and some of the best doctors in Hutchinson, Kansas down there right now.
Well, it's a tough time for Xavier Shepherd, but it's a good time for our sponsors. Let's take another minute and hear from some of the friends of Hutchinson Community College. Back in a minute.
The Rothy family name has always been connected to serving the Hutchinson community, and you can expect the same kind of high-quality service when you visit Rothy Family Flooring. They believe you deserve to be treated like family, so they've invested in their own talented and trustworthy installers to lay your floors. No outside contractors will ever knock on your door if Rothy works for you. Let them show you their expansive selection of name brand flooring and trust your home to the best. Rothy Family Flooring, 325 North Main, Hutchinson.
Sure, there are lots of choices around for a primary care physician, but it's not about how many. It's about just one, the right one for you. When you experience the sincerity and attentiveness of the family doctors and PAs at Prairie Star and our sliding fee scale, you'll know you made the right choice. Prairie Star Health Center, 30th and K61 in Hutchinson.
The cart has returned, and now they are pushing a stretcher in from the southwest side of the stadium. And now you start to wonder whether this is one of those injuries where it requires the neck to be stabilized or something like that, because they are treating this with the utmost of care.
Well, it was a football game that had moved along very swiftly up until this point, and right now it doesn't matter whether this takes 30 minutes or 45 minutes. Player safety is of utmost importance here, and they're getting things situated down there to make sure this young man is taken care of.
I can't tell whether they've worked a board underneath the player. Typically in that kind of a situation you would before you lifted the player onto the stretcher, but the stretcher is there, and obviously they have deemed that necessary. This is one of those things that you just hate to see happen. And it has been, I don't believe we've seen this in any game in this stadium for the 2 or 3 years, anything of this significance.
It's been a while. They just took the shoulder pads off of the player. Of course, his helmet has been off now for quite some time, and they will find a way to get him stabilized. Obviously, with all the attention and personnel down there, it is something in the neck area, and you don't mess around with that.
And this is one of those things that is hard on both teams. Obviously, the Scotties are worried about their teammate, a young man from Atlanta. The Blue Dragons, who play the game hard, but certainly the last thing in the world any of the Blue Dragons want is for anybody to get seriously hurt. They have to be a little shaken up by this as well, and what impact this will have on a 0-0 football game with still 12:43 to go remains to be seen. But right now the only issue of significance is taking care of Xavier Shepard.
And now the player has been loaded onto the stretcher. All the Highlands players come over and tap their teammate on the shoulder, and I know a lot of prayers have probably already been said. A nice hand by this home crowd here at Gowans Stadium. Not a bad crowd considering that it is incredibly hot to be watching a football game out here where there's virtually no sun or no shade from the sun.
It's going to be a while until they get the player taken care of.
Let me give you a quick score update up at Iowa Central. Independence continues to roll. They lead in the third period 31-7. In Dodge City on top of Butler. Second quarter action 7-3. That's being played over at El Dorado.
Iowa Central, by the way, will be in here next Saturday for a noon kickoff. And let's go ahead and take another break. We'll be back in a minute.
This is Carter File, president of Hutchinson Community College. The proud tradition of Blue Dragon sports continues this fall. I encourage you to take advantage of the Blue Dragon All Sports ticket. For just $60 for adults and $40 for K-12 students, you can enjoy over 50 athletic events at Hutchinson Community College. These are general admission tickets, which include football, volleyball, men's and women's basketball, baseball, and other selected events. Get yours today at the sports arena or at area Dillon stores. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and keep current on all Blue Dragon news and events at BlueDragonSports.com.
Have you ever been unable to drive due to a short-term injury like a broken bone or some prescription medication? What you may not know is that under those circumstances, you could be granted temporary access to Reno County Area Specialized Transportation Services.
On a 3rd down and 11, the Dragons get a pick as a ball floated upfield against that wind. Hutchinson will have it with another great opportunity.
Well, Rusty, we were away on that break still for our local audience. You might have to re-explain that.
Well, they finally got the injured player taken care of. It was 3rd down and 11. The ball floated up the field as Highland trying to pick up a 1st down. Dragons get a pick, and once again, great field position. Wind at their back at the 41-yard line. The kicking game is not getting it done. I think the Dragons are going to have to find a way to get this in the end zone.
There's Jerry Jacobs on the interception.
He's been spectacular.
And the Dragons get a breakaway. Waller breaks to the outside. He's at the 30. He's at the 25, at the 20 end. Pushed out of bounds at the 18-yard line. Huge play, 23 yards to Sean Waller.
Yeah, 2 plays of the game right there to pick, and then Waller finally got outside.
What I say, guys, 4th quarter, it would pay dividends, that defense being on the field as much as they had, and that time a breakdown defensively. Hutchinson, their first big run of the game.
Yeah, one of you, I think it was Rusty, made the pick today. That might have been hard on both teams, but Blue Dragons came out sizzling.
All right, inside the 20 for at least the 3rd time in this scoreless game. Let's see if the Dragons can capitalize. They go back and get a couple of yards down to the 16. Again, it was Waller.
Something tells me, guys, that we are going to witness our 5th field goal attempt in this game. The first 4 have not been good.
I hope not.
I hope not also.
Otis Williams checks in at the tailback spot. Waller's going to get a break after 2 tough carries.
The way this defense has been playing for Highland, something tells me that they're going to be tough to get a first down on here. Let's see if we can pick one up.
2nd down and 8. Cam Jones in the shotgun. Rolling to his left. Has time. Floats it in the end zone. Dropped! Put it right in the hands of his intended receiver, and it was just simply dropped in the corner of the end zone. That is one that...
It was Waller.
It's Hunter Sims.
Hunter Sims. He'll never get a better chance.
Hit him right in the numbers. Rolled the quarterback out to his left, bought time outside the pocket, and that time Cam made a perfect throw that you have got to catch in a game like this where opportunities have been null.
And he had 2 yards of separation.
He did.
Did everything, ran the route great. Just didn't take care of the detail of catching the football. 3rd down, 8. Jones floats it up the middle, and it is broken up in the end zone. Threw it into at least double, maybe triple coverage. Hutchinson may be lucky that that one wasn't picked off.
Well,
and now do you try your 5th field goal of the game?
Jeremiah Hill, he's a playmaker for Highland, broke it up. The pass was perfectly thrown. The receiver was open, but the hit was vicious, and no way for the receiver to hang on to the football because Jeremiah Hill made another spectacular play.
All right, this one from 33 yards. Niemeyer has missed on 4 occasions. This time he booms it, and this time it is finally good.
Wow!
And the Blue Dragons break onto the scoreboard with 11:11 to go in the football game, 3-0. That's huge. We'll be back with more in half a minute.
For quality in product and in service, choose your Train air conditioning system from E&M Plumbing. E&M can supply you with high-efficiency Train systems with the same high-quality insulation you've come to expect from their long-time service experience. They'll answer any questions you have about the new high-efficiency Train units with no obligation. Thinking air conditioning? Think E&M Plumbing Incorporated, 701 West 2nd, 662-1281. After all, it's hard to stop a train.
Well, the old saying is the 3rd time is a charm. In this case, it's the 5th time that was a charm.
Off the turnover by, again, Jerry Jacobs set up that. Hunter Sims was still on the sideline, guys, just beating himself up for dropping that ball. But Niemeyer came through with the field goal, and it's 3-0 right now with 11:11 to go in this 4th period of play. Big play.
Jacobs has really been outstanding from his secondary position.
He's going to earn that red velvet cake tomorrow. I can tell you that right now.
Right now, he is the defensive player of the game.
Does Glenn Grunwald like red velvet cake?
I love any kind of cake. Bring it on. But to answer your question, yes, I do.
All right, now Donovan Gagan will kick off for the Blue Dragons. Finally on the scoreboard, leading 3-0. Wind at the back. Gagan can probably put this in the end zone if he catches it solid, which he does. Oh, my, yes. Lands in the middle of the end zone, rolls out the back end of it, and the ball will come out to the 25. Now, despite all the celebration for finally getting on the scoreboard, the Blue Dragon defense can't afford a letdown because a 3-0 score is a precarious lead.
Yeah, that's exactly what Coach Rhodes was talking to his defense out there on the sideline after they scored it. It's up to them now.
26 total yards for Highland, 224 total yards for Hutchinson, minus 17 rushing yards, 43 yards through the air. It has been domination by Hutchinson.
It looks like Tristan Spear is the quarterback. It is, and he'll go with a handoff, and they test the interior of the Dragon defense and get about 2 or 3 yards.
They've really been rotating the quarterbacks. Kearns was in there on that pick a little while ago, so I guess Coach Arnold thinks that, hey, he's going to go with number 6 out there, Tristan Spear.
Well, Kearns has been the quarterback most of the season. He had 71 passes coming in. Nobody else was even close, but he has been ineffective on this Saturday afternoon. And Spear, the youngster from Troy, getting his chance.
3-0 Hutch, 10:38 to go, fourth quarter if you're just tuning in.
Second down and 7. Man in motion across the formation. Again, the handoff and a hole up the middle and a first down run. Nice job done that time by Willie Jordan. He needed 6, got about 8, and they moved the chains.
They're
working against the wind.
First down, best run of the football game. Now, if you're Hutchinson, you've taken the lead in the game. You've got a 3-0 lead. You can't let up here.
Football at the 35 of the Scotties with 10 minutes to play. Spear, stockily built kid, watches a couple of players shift to the left side of the formation. And hands off. The play goes to that side, and putting his head down and barreling forward for 2, maybe 3 yards, Willie Jordan.
The first down on this drive, guys, was only the 4th of the football game for Highland as we are down to the 9:30 mark of the fourth quarter. That's how dominant the Dragon defense has been.
They only had, 2 in the first half, something like that?
Yeah,
I know
that's right,
midway through.
That's exactly right.
The second quarter before they got it.
Second down 8 at their own 37-yard line. Spear built low to the ground at 5'11", 205. Again, watches the shift of 2 players to the left side of the offensive set. One of them returns to the right side. Dragons adjust, and the handoff is to the right side and getting to the outside and breaking a tackle and going all the way across the 50-yard line, still battling his way. And where are they going to say Willie Jordan stepped out of bounds? And Highland is coming right back. They've moved the ball into Dragon country, and they're going to set it down at the 48.
4 fresh players will come in for Hutchinson. It's a luxury that they've had, able to substitute a lot of players up front on this very hot day. But back-to-back first downs after you finally take the lead, now you're giving Highland some momentum.
Yeah, and they're rolling around on the outside. This isn't being done up the middle. This is going to the outside.
Dragons lost contain that side.
Mainly to the left side. This time they try the center, and the Dragons stop that immediately. No gain on the play, maybe a yard.
One of those fresh players coming in, Tyrus Butler, 98, freshman from Louisiana, and he got penetration for maybe a gain of a yard.
That was a fresh back in there. That's a D.D. Hull. He's from Ivy, South Carolina. It'll be a second down and 9. Wind in the face of the Scotties. Hutchinson leading 3-0, 8 minutes to play. Spear gets an okay snap, gives off, and there's a hole off the left side, and another first down run. D.D. Hull takes it to the Dragon 37-yard line.
Now, Kevin Brown was injured in the first half, and now D.D. Hull's taken over. That'll move the chains again.
And Highland trying to rally behind their injured teammate and come back and maybe steal one from Hutchinson. Has it at the 37.
Teams are getting tired. You're seeing it, guys. That's why both these football teams are running the ball here in the fourth quarter. Who's got more will? That's what it boils down to now.
Official right in the middle of things. And now the Dragons make some adjustments on defense.
Yep.
Now we're ready.
And clock ran out. Let's see what they called.
I think a timeout was taken. Timeout comes with this game midway in the fourth quarter. Hutchinson 3, Highland nothing, but Highland threatening when we return in 30 seconds.
Just as the Hutchinson Blue Dragons athletics are a tradition, so is the Anchor Inn in downtown Hutchinson. Whether you plan lunch or dinner or even take out for home, the Anchor Inn is a great family restaurant that you are sure to enjoy. Order off their great menu or take advantage of the Anchor Inn's awesome buffet. You'll make a great choice either way. The Anchor Inn is also a great spot to meet up with old friends and acquaintances because everyone goes to the Anchor. That's the Anchor Inn at 128 South Main in Hutchinson, proud supporters of Hutchinson Blue Dragon Athletics.
Highland Scotties at the 37-yard line. Working against a 20, 25-mile-an-hour breeze. They do have a very good field goal kicker, but they've got probably a need to move this at least another 20 yards to have any realistic shot at a field goal. Right now they're moving it, though. They have aspirations on more than 3.
Need a stop. Turnover would be even better.
Tristan Spear Stands back about 4 yards deep, takes a high snap, shovels it off on the end around. Dragons have it pretty well diagnosed, and down goes Ronnie Jamison back at the 39-yard line, a loss of 2.
Story Jackson, number 1. One of the best open field tacklers on this Dragon team. Always one of the team members at the top when it comes to total tackles at the end of a game. Made a spectacular one.
Textbook right there. That was one-on-one, literally number 1 on number 1. Nice stop by Story.
Sure was.
Wide to the left goes Albert Howard. He's had a couple of key catches in this game. Ronnie Jamison sets up on the short side of the field as a wide out. Ball on the right hash mark. Again, they shift the 2 players to the left side of the formation. This time both stay there. Quarterback takes a snap, hands off, and bursting through a hole and down to the 35-yard line goes Willie Jordan.
Well, it's a good job because 3rd down and long, and I also think, guys, you're at a point in the game where this is probably 4-down territory.
I would agree with that. We are down to 6:20. Again, Hutchinson leads Highland 3-0.
Can you get a stop? It would be huge on this series right here.
Quarterback stands about 4 yards deep. Again, the shift of 2 players from the right to the left side. This time they line up in a stack. And Howard wants to throw, throws it over the middle. Oh, he had Ronnie Jamison cutting across, threw it a little bit behind him and too tall to be handled.
Michael Witherspoon in coverage, quick slant route. It was airmailed, and it's come down to this. 4th down. If Hutchinson get a stop here, they'll get the football back, and even if you don't pick up a 1st down, you're still able to punt the ball, pin them deep with, at that point, probably only a couple of minutes left in the game.
4th down and 8 at the 35 of Hutchinson. This has been the best performance so far we have seen from a Dragon football team in a long while.
This is when the crowd needs to come alive.
2 wideouts to the left. And the Dragons come running across.
Yeah.
Movement on the left side, I think, prompted that. It should be a 5-yard walk-off against Highland if the officials saw what we saw.
That's what Andy Jean-Baptiste is saying. He said he was drawn off, and I think they're going to agree with him.
Wow.
And now you might think about punting.
They will. Punting unit is on the field. That
Big
is
play
a
right there.
Costly penalty. Not a lot of them in the game. Only the 4th penalty. Hutchinson with 4 also, but none more costly than that one.
Yeah, you got to give credit to Highland. Spears, the backup quarterback, he's came in and directed that drive right there. They don't have Kevin Brown, so you got some makeshift backs in there that haven't played a lot this year. And let's see what we're going to have. We might have a timeout. It will be timeout Hutchinson.
Hutchinson will spend the timeout. The clock freezes at 5:56 to play in the 4th quarter with Hutchinson leading 3-0. Highland apparently punting from Hutchinson's 40-yard line. We're going to take a 30-second break.
Can't live without your cell phone, but tired of the fees, overages, and expensive bills? We could all live without that. Maybe it's time to switch to Nextech Wireless. Save up to $60 a month with plans like our new Unlimited Everything Lite. Get 2 lines with unlimited talk, text, and data for only $100 a month. That's 2 lines, unlimited data, only $100. It's time to say goodbye to your carrier and say hello to something better. Nextech Wireless.
Well, it is 4th down and 13 at the 40 of Hutchinson, but the Dragons have to be respectful of the possibility that Lane Spiker will not punt this football. Waller awaits at the 10-yard line. The punt will be against the wind, if indeed it is a punt.
Yeah, watch for something tricky maybe.
Well, secure the ball also if they punt it. This is critical here.
The snap is okay. And it punts off, it's high, and it's a beautiful punt. The wind grabs it, and then it bounces backwards. Hutchinson will get reasonable field position outside the 20-yard line.
And now it becomes just a control the clock type of game. Did you see the wind grab that punt? It went like it's going to be a normal punt, and all of a sudden it just dropped straight down.
Well, look at the flags blowing here at the stadium. I mean, they are flat whipping.
Now, the temperature stayed in the mid-80s today, but that field temperature's dropped to 122 down to about 117. So the wind's doing its job cooling off the surface at least.
I feel better already, Rusty.
I bet you guys do.
Yeah. It's about 72 up here.
Yeah, we're not going to rub that in.
All right, Dragons can't afford a mistake in this part of the field. At the very least, use some time and punt it down to the other end. And the Dragons will go back to the run. And Highland will continue to be tough against the rush.
You know, worst thing here, you run the ball 3 times, take a couple of minutes off the clock, you punt with the wind at your back, try to get them inside the 20-yard line and make them work for everything possible. Of course, picking up a first down here would be incredibly beneficial.
Yeah, big 2nd down and 8 here.
This will probably be the last really hot football game of the year.
Thank you, Rusty.
Temperature's supposed to drop into the 70s for highs starting Monday.
I'm going to make you promise me that.
Cam Jones awaits in the shotgun, 2nd down 8. Again, hands off. That's Desmond Jackson trying to get to the edge, can't do it. Loss on the play of a yard or 2. Stayed inbounds.
Yeah, stayed inbounds. Clock continues to tick. Make sure as they reset the play clock to 40 seconds, you use every bit of that time that you can. Highland still with 2 timeouts left. Hutchinson has 2 if they need them as well. But this is a 3rd down, Glenn. I think you just run it again.
I think you do, too. You bring Waller in and takes the place of Jackson. Also coming in is Lumpkin. So watch for that tight end pass possibly on this 3rd down 11.
By the time the Dragons snap it here, we'll be somewhere in the 420s. Again, Hutchinson leading 3-0. And quarterback rolling. He wants to throw it, throws it out to the 30-yard line. It's caught by Lumpkin, takes it out to the 35, might have a first down.
Wow, I think this is going to be spotted. Coach Rhodes is right there, and he said this is where he went out of bounds. Let's see if he gets some help from the official.
Right
first down.
They're going to move the chains. Wow, what a big call.
I get any credit for that?
Yes.
Thank you.
Hey, it's hot down there. I'll give you whatever you want.
Real quick also, before they snap the ball here, coming up on Monday on BW Radio, Dr. Carter File, along with Sean James, former Blue Dragon, former Salt Hawk, will be our guest. He's the Dillon Lecture Series speaker on Tuesday.
And we'll go on the Wall of Honor at Hutchinson High School in the very near future. Jones hands off, and the Dragons will work a little bit more clock as Waller dances a couple of times, got back to the line of scrimmage. That's about all. And the clock now indicates 3:40 to go. And it is on the march. But Hutchinson, a 3-point lead.
Clock resets to 40 every time. Make sure you don't snap the ball until it's inside of 5 seconds, as if you do give Highland the football back, you want the least amount of time possible on that clock.
That's exactly what the assistant coach just now said, every 5 seconds.
2 wideouts to the right. They're going to be unoccupied in this play. Cam Jones, high snap. Dragons have to cover it up. Waller picks it up. He's running around with it, trying to turn it into something positive. Steps out of bounds back at the 24. There's about the 5th time the Dragons have snapped it over the head of the quarterback.
Well, and he ran out of bounds, and the coach said, go sit down, put a new running back in. He's like, you have to know the situation.
Yeah, but you also have to secure the football, and Waller did a great job of doing that.
True, I agree. Totally. First and foremost, you don't turn it over, but the coach set him because you go down in bounds, and now they restart the clock. Gotcha.
Dragons will take their time. If they do have to punt, there shouldn't be much more than 2 minutes to go in this game. And punting seems to be a very high probability on 3rd down and 20.
They didn't get it off.
Nope.
You either call a timeout there, or you didn't get the play off in time, as the officials are going to talk about it, and I think it's going to be a delay of game.
Yeah, it's a situation also with you had those 2 timeouts left, and you want to save one of them for sure. I tell you what, it has made a difference without Taylor in there, a regular center. So that's affected this game.
Well, there's no question. He's your starter for a reason, and that's exactly what the call is. Just the 5th penalty against Hutchinson, but now it backs you up. You're looking at
and it stops the clock.
Stops the clock. 3rd down, 25 situation where you might see Highland use a timeout after this play. I would think they would.
Jones under center, not risking a bad snap. Drops back, apparently wants to throw it. Taking a lot of time, and now he'll stay in bounds. Or nope, they said he stepped out.
He jabbed a foot out of bounds. He didn't mean to, but That's going to stop the clock at 2:32 to go, right at the 21.
And the Dragons will have to punt. They didn't handle that possession all that well, but they can be bailed out if Donovan Gagan can get off a good one.
Yeah, what they've done is still left some doubt as to how the outcome of this football game is going to turn out in a timeout.
About a difference in about a minute there, probably, with those 2 out-of-bounds plays.
All right, we're going to take a half-minute break, and we'll see how this one transpires when we return.
Hello, this is Tom Elliott of Elliott Mortuary, and again this year we are pleased to help sponsor HCC Blue Dragon Sports. We encourage you to support all the Blue Dragon games, both home and away, with your attendance, but if not, we hope you enjoy listening to the game here on KWBW and Country 102.9. Elliott Mortuary and Crematory, a proud sponsor of Hutchinson Community College.
Well, do you try to set up a return, or do you bring the house and try to get to the punter? I think you come after the punter, as hard as it has been for Highland to get yards. And Donovan Gagan will be standing somewhere close to his 5-yard line. Imperative to get a good snap here.
How about we cover
Dylan
the punt?
Chesterman is the long snapper, and normally a very good one.
Coach Rhodes said he could play at the Division I level doing what he's doing for a living. That one a little short, but we get
Okay,
it off.
snap, and it's a line drive punt. It is returnable at the 35-yard line. And it is Gray dancing around at the Hutchinson 40, at the Hutchinson 30, and toppled at the Hutchinson 25-yard line.
And a saving tackle by the Blue Dragon snapper that time, I believe, Chesterman.
There's a flag back at midfield.
I think this is going to be against Highland, and Hutchinson will be very, very fortunate.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. He did some hurdling there to get loose, guys.
The snap came back a little bit low. And as a result, the punt, the timing was off, and it wasn't the high-soaring punt that I'm sure Donovan Gagan envisioned. And it was taken on the dead run by Isaiah Gray at the 35-yard line. There are actually 2 flags.
Okay, 2 fouls on the play.
Both on the Scotties.
Block in the back, declined, and...
All right, so the first flag dropped right at the 40-yard line. They will assess that penalty. That'll take it back to Tristan Spear. He drops back, loads it up, throws it behind his receiver, and not able to pull it in was Trey Willis. It'll be an incomplete pass. That freezes the clock and sets up a second down at the 30-yard line of the Scotties. They're down to 2:14 to work with. Hutchinson's defense magnificent all afternoon. Called on to turn away Highland one final time. Wide left goes Trey Willis. Ronnie Jameson, the leading receiver on the team, goes in the slot on that side. Backup quarterback Tristan Spear awaits in the shotgun. Drops back, buys some time, unloads it short. Great grab by Jameson. He's loose on the sideline, dancing around, and run out of bounds in Dragon Country at about the 45-yard line was Jameson. Yeah, they're going to say he stepped out of bounds a little bit farther upfield than that, but it is enough for a first down out at the 44 of Highland. Exactly 2 minutes to play. Spear back in the gun. Throws out in the flat. Dragons are playing a little bit loose, and easy catch for Albert Howard. He steps out of bounds with a pickup of 6 right at midfield. Second down and 4 from the midfield stripe. Highland trying to get the game tied. They're thinking about, can we somehow get it in the end zone and win it? Wide left goes Trey Willis. Spear in the gun. Throws it out to the side. The catch is made. Short gain on the play, as out in the right flat they found Nericus Driver. It is third down and 1.
This is big right here. Third down and 1. See if they just go back to the run play.
Well, you can't afford, they'll have to spend a timeout if they don't get the first down here. They throw it, and a Dragon tackle prevents a big gain, but it is enough as Albert Howard pulls in the pass on the sideline at the 41-yard line. It is enough to move the chains.
And got out of bounds. Or, yep, official now says roll the clock.
Nice job being done by Tristan Spear. Spear, as a flag comes flying in, delivers the ball out of the reach of his intended receiver. Might be a hold on this one on the Dragons.
Yeah, I think this could be a defensive holding call.
Go ahead and answer.
Personal foul on the Dragons. It is a 15-yard penalty. Wow.
That's a huge one.
And it takes it down to the 26-yard line. And a minute 31 left. And the Scotties with 2 timeouts. Wide to the left side, 2 receivers. Highland on the march. Willie Jordan back with Spear. Spear has done a great job on this drive. Dragons need a stop in the worst way. Here they come. Spear steps up, room to run in the middle of the field. He's dragged down, but not before making it to the 19-yard line. It is a gain of 7. We continue to have technical issues. Second down 3. Blue Dragons having problems also, issues of their own, stopping the Scotty offense. Spear throws, completes to the 16-yard line. And that catch was made at the 16-yard line by Tyreek Williams. It is a first down right at the 15. 58 seconds to go. Hutchinson's going to take a timeout. We're going to take a 30-second break. Be right back. God, I am so sick and tired of having this crap every game.
Why don't we just use a phone line used to?
I swear to God, I don't know.
I'm just telling it happens.
Every game it's happened. We've had one game where it didn't happen.
It's this tie line internet stuff. I'm just saying.
We're going to miss the end of a game.
And I answer and I can't get it.
All right, it is a 1st and 10 for Highland at the Hutchinson 15-yard line. A minute 1 remains in the football game. Highland trailing the Dragons 3-0, and I would think Highland probably in field goal range at the very least. Right now they're thinking about a winning touchdown. Tristan Spear has done quite a job, backup quarterback from Troy, Kansas. Dragons threatening blitz. And the handoff and into the backfield. The Dragons make a play on Willie Jordan. And the clock will continue to move.
Huge play by number 99, Taylon Humphrey, getting in the backfield.
Clock on the march, 40 seconds to go. Spear in the gun. 2nd and 11. High snap. Spear floats it into the end zone. Nobody there, no flags, good coverage by the Blue Dragons.
That's just one-on-one coverage by Michael Witherspoon out there on an island, and it was well played, as no matter what happens here, if Highland doesn't turn it over, they're going to have an opportunity to kick a field goal and try to tie this thing up.
Well, and they have a good kicker. William Solomon missed from 47 early in the game, but he's 5 out of 6. Has a long of 46 this season. It is 3rd down and 11. We're going to find out, I suspect, pretty quickly. If the Dragons can get a stop here, we'll find out whether we're in range of the field goal kicker. Spear back, throws to his back out of the backfield, and a missed tackle. And down inside the 5 to the 3 go the Scotties.
Holy cow. As well as this Dragon defense has played, if Highland is able to punch it in the end zone, that would just be a heck of a sad ending to how well this team has played.
We're going to have a Hutchinson timeout. Here are the numbers. 27 seconds remain. The Hutchinson 3-0 lead, about as precarious as it can be. 1st and goal, Highland. They put it down at the 4. We take 30 seconds.
My name is Dr. Brandy Weems, family practitioner at Summit Healthcare. We offer the full spectrum of family practice services, including well child checks, chronic disease management, and in-office procedures. Summit Healthcare is committed to providing quality family medicine and walk-in care to patients of all ages. As a Hutchinson native, I am honored to return to this wonderful community where the inspiration for my medical journey began. Schedule your appointment with me, Dr. Weems, at Summit Healthcare today, 662-6000.
Well, Rob described it perfectly. The Hutchinson defense has been magnificent all game, but it will all matter not at all if they can't hold Highland out here in the last 27 seconds.
Boy, Robin, that Witherspoon just barely missed catching that running back, number 4, Willie Jordan, as he skipped away and got the first down.
It's going to be tough. You've come this far, finish it off. At least make them try a field goal attempt.
All right, it has been Tristan Spear who's getting it done. They shift the 2 players to the left side of the formation. Now, one back to the right side. High snap, handoff, and the Dragons make a play in the backfield. They got to Willie Jordan. The timing was way off.
They have a timeout left. They elect not to use it. They'll get back and try to run a quick play.
Yeah, Dragons have used all their.
Down it. They'll just down it. So that'll stop the clock with 13 seconds to go. It preserves the timeout. It gives them an opportunity for one more play before what one would assume would be an attempt to tie the game with a field goal.
You know, I'm okay if it's 4th down, they kick a field goal, and we go to overtime and decide this. What you don't want to have happen now, as well as Hutchinson has played, is see this thing end here as well as the defense has done.
Trey Wallace wide to the left side, wide out to the right side. Probably the last snap prior to a field goal attempt unless it gets to the end zone. Again, they shift 2 players to the left side of the formation. Spear taking a long time, stands 4 yards deep, waits the snap. Here we go. Snap is good. Spear unloads, throws it over the middle. It is broken up. Incomplete pass.
Wow. This game has had 2 heavyweights, Glenn, on defense.
Yeah, big Mr. Humphreys, I think, might have got up there. Somebody got up there big time. Good job by Brown as well.
Well, Highlands missed a field goal in this game. Hutchinson missed 4 of them before finally connecting. Can we have another missed field goal in this game?
William Solomon hadn't missed all year long. He'll come in to try what would be a game-tying field goal. It is little more than a chip shot, a 25-yarder, but it is against a significant breeze. The snap is okay. They get it down. The kick is up, and this game is tied at 3.
Would you expect anything else the way this one is played out?
We'll have the little matter of a kickoff, but the Blue Dragon defense again continues to be magnificent. This game most likely headed for overtime, but we'll have a kickoff by the Scotties when we come back in half a minute.
It's football season, when the weather is warm one day and cold the next. Stay ahead of cold and flu season by drinking plenty of liquids, getting enough rest, and keeping your hands sanitized. Come see the friendly folks at Ashcraft Pharmacy, your locally owned Health Mart pharmacy, for over-the-counter medications to help alleviate symptoms. And if you need a prescription, we offer free mail-out, free delivery, or call ahead for our handy curbside service. Go Dragons! From Ashcraft Pharmacy in the Hart Shopping Center, South Hutchinson, and Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
I would be astounded if this is anything but just a squib kick. Keep the ball on the ground, no big run backs, and then we'll play overtime. And in the high school game, each team gets a possession from the 25-yard line per overtime. Here's the run up. Well, they do kick it in the air. I'm a little surprised. And it bounces. Dragons handle it at the 20-yard line. It is Waller, and he's down at the 22. 2 seconds left in the football game. And probably the Dragons will just take a knee, I would think. Don't want to take a chance on a pick or something like that here.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
When's the last overtime, guys? You remember? I don't.
I can remember a 4 overtime game at Fort Scott.
That was at Fort Scott.
That was a number of years ago.
That was when I was young.
Maybe it was more than a number of years ago.
Well, this could be interesting because defensively both teams have been magnificent. It could come down to field goals, and those haven't been too good either.
Dragons take a knee. That will do it, and we will play overtime. And while they sort things out, including which end we're going to play to, we'll take a break. Back in 1 minute.
And where we can, right? You can do that every day at Salt City Pawn and Jewelry. Hi, this is owner Paul Phillips inviting you to stop in and say hi to our friendly staff. And while you're here, check out over 3,000 square feet of great merchandise priced at outstanding values. We don't have to offer huge sale prices for one day only when we do that on a daily basis. Save big over retail prices on firearms, electronics, guitars and amps, name brand tools, video games, jewelry, and more. See us at 916 East 4th and Hutch, just east of 4th and Severance. We're proud to be alumni and supporters of all Blue Dragon athletics.
HCC Sports is brought to you by the Sportscaster Club members, Portfolio Recovery Associates, Dr. Robert F. of the Hutchinson Clinic, Barkley Plumbing, Vernon Chiropractic Center, Tim and Gina Ritter, along with Brian Strange of the Green Vision Group, Sutton Kaufman Transmission Service, Wade Patton Insurance, A&A Builders, Bold Office Shares, Mega Manufacturing, MAYB, Mid-America Youth Basketball, Lowen Corporation, and by Mann, Wyatt, and Rice, LLC. These Sportscaster Club members help provide funds for HCC scholarships.
Both defenses have been magnificent in this football game, but now it is probably up to the offenses to decide who wins it, because we will play in overtime, each team with a possession from the 25-yard line.
Yeah, I tell you, Hutchinson had so many opportunities to put this thing away in regulation. Didn't happen, but you're fortunate that you didn't give up a touchdown, and I think right now Hutchinson is happy it's gone to overtime and you take care of business.
Well, I think so too, and Luke Niemeyer, who may be called on to decide this game with another field goal attempt, he's got to put out of his mind those 4 missed field goals that would have done away with the need for this overtime. He did make the one that got Hutchinson the lead at 3-0. And you hope, as a Blue Dragon fan, that the Dragons can get the ball in the end zone. But the way these defenses have played, asking a team to move even 25 yards is a tall task. Glenn, some kind of Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, it's crazy out there, guys. The wind's still going to play a big part of it. That's going to have a lot to do with who's going to, you know, on this, win the coin toss out here to see which end you're going to take. Because, again, it's going to be the regular rules of college football on put it at the 25 and try to get it in.
Yeah, they will flip the coin, and the team that wins can elect to go on offense or on defense, and they almost always choose defense so that when their offense gets the ball, they know what they have to do. And the other team, I believe, can pick the end of the field. So if the Blue Dragons were to win this, choose to play defense, one would think the Scotties, with a great field goal kicker, would say, we're going to play to the north end of the stadium and have the wind at our back when we get the ball. We shall soon see. It has been an entertaining Saturday afternoon, and the Blue Dragons, who a year ago lost a bunch of these games and saw a season in which nobody was able to beat them by more than 6 points, end at 5-6. Hutchinson probably feeling it's about our turn to win some of these close ones.
How much difference could this game be from last week's game? Holy cow.
Yeah.
31-28.
And last week, to be honest, Coach Ryan Rhodes thought his secondary didn't play well at all, gave up a lot of big plays. And this week, the defense was magnificent, and the offenses didn't produce much.
So team captains now go to midfield. Highland elects to send out just one player, Tristan Spear. Hutchinson will send out Talon Humphrey, as well as Guy Victoria. And they're meeting with officials right now at the 50-yard line as we are in overtime here at Gowans Stadium, a 3-3 tie.
Hutchinson trying to go to 4-1 on the football season and stay atop the Jayhawk Conference. The toss has been, or has taken place, and the officials will tell us that Hutchinson won the toss, and Hutchinson will, as expected, play defense. The reason you do this, you know what you have to do when your offense gets the football.
Yeah, you'll take it every single time in overtime to get the second opportunity. It's, not like the NFL overtime rule.
And now the decision has been made that we will play to the north end of the stadium, so this wind, Glenn, still probably in the 25 mile an hour
Well, maybe
category?
not that much. It was about 12 at one time. It dropped down, but I'm going to say at least 18, maybe to 20. I'll take your 25 as spurts.
Dragons will have it, wind at their back at the 25-yard line. It's just a regular possession. You play until you either score, turn it over, or run out of downs. Then the other team gets a chance. Dragons will play defense in the first overtime. If it goes to a second overtime, Hutchinson would be on offense first. And Spear, who directed a nice drive downfield to get the game tied, starts the overtime with a handoff and bouncing to the outside, an opportunity for Willie Jordan, and he takes it inside the 15-yard line to the 13. Boy, he ran right into the pile, didn't get knocked down, bounced off of it like a pinball to the outside, and that is a mighty big play, a first down at the 13.
Yeah, and that's contained. The Dragon defensive end and outside linebacker sucked in on that play, and then it left nothing outside but the corner to come up and make the tackle. Fortunately, he did.
Ronnie Jameson wide to the right side. 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. Again, the shift, 2 players from the left side to the right side. One of them shifts back to the left side. There's the snap and the give up the middle and another pickup of a couple of yards, continuing to work hard. It is once again Willie Jordan.
One thing you don't want to do here is give up a touchdown, because then it puts incredible pressure on your football team. Keep them out of the end zone, make them kick a field goal, and see what happens.
2nd down, a little bit less than 8 yards to go at the 11. We're in overtime. Tristan Spear under center this time. Hands off. And the Dragons are equal to knocking down Willie Jordan for little, if any, gain. 3rd down.
Lewis Wallace making a nice tackle that time, Glenn, playing hard still.
Yeah, they're really surging up front right there just to pick up a little bit there. Key 3rd down play here.
And Highland playing it very conservatively. They have a great field goal kicker. Talon Humphrey comes in the game.
Butler's going to come back in, and you're going to have the big boys up front, both of them.
Wide out to the right side. Spear this time will operate from the shotgun. 2 backs to his right. 3rd down. Spear rolling to his right, being chased, throws it into the end zone. Got a receiver. Touchdown. Touchdown. Open in the end zone, Ronnie Jameson.
Unbelievable. and he was wide open. Quarterback rolling to his right, being chased that time by Turner, and he bought himself just enough time to make the best throw of the football game in overtime for Highland. Now incredible pressure on Hutchinson.
A Blue Dragon team that has not cracked the end zone all afternoon will have to do it or suffer a loss. Extra point is up. It is
no good.
No good.
Oh, yes,
just got inside the left upright. Boy, I thought, like you did, it was outside that upright.
It snuck in.
So it is 10-3 Highland as the Scotties score a touchdown and an extra point. And now the Blue Dragon offense, to keep Hutchinson in this football game, will have to do what it has not done all afternoon long.
Boy, guys, Colby Turner was in pursuit of the quarterback. Just about got to him over there on that far side. But Spear, give him a lot of credit. He found that wide open receiver. And now Blue Dragons have got to score.
Wow, what a shame it would be to lose this game as magnificently as the Hutchinson defense has played. And the Dragons, all they have to do is match what Highland just did.
My goodness, what a football game it has been at Gowans. Of course, Hutchinson gets the ball also with the wind at their back, and now having to score a touchdown and an extra point for this thing to continue, and you can't turn the ball over.
Cam Jones wants to throw, rolls to his right, throws, has an open receiver at the 20 and down to the 15. Not quite a first down, but a nice pickup.
Yeah, it's a great job on first down.
Yeah, they're going to move it. They're going to give him a first down.
That was Tavian Allen on the reception.
The scary thing about this is when you're in overtime, you turn the ball over and it's over. It's over. There's just so much pressure on Hutchinson, but that's a great way to come out on first down, get a first down immediately, and let's see if they can convert.
Dragons have not been able to run with much success. Will they stick with the air game? 1st and 10 at the 15 in overtime. Rolling to his right. Ball thrown. It is caught. Touchdown, Dragons. A strike in the corner of the end zone to Jalen Irwin. And now the extra point to tie it up.
Well, and normally you'd feel pretty good about this, but Niemeyer's day today, it's been a struggle. We've had kicks blocked or
He hasn't missed an extra point, though, all year long. Got to have a good hold.
And a timeout, I believe, is going to be taken by Highland. It's a smart timeout. Make him think about it.
And guys, we're going to keep it right here. The game on the line. It is 10-9. Hutchinson will try to kick the tying extra point. We've seen Highland block a field goal attempt, but normally a sure-footed kicker, Luke Niemeyer, he is 25 of 25 on extra points.
Oh, this crowd has been treated to quite a football game.
Yeah, it's been a warm day today, but still, it's been a heck of a game. Special thanks to Larry Stonecipher for doing a heck of a job back on the board, guys. We did not miss a lick of it when we were having some technical difficulties up here, so thanks to him.
All right, Niemeyer, he may be 25 of 25. None have been more important, though, than this one. Got to get a good hold. Chris James is the holder. Need a good snap. Got it. Kick is up. And this game is tied at 10.
Wow.
And we'll have another overtime. We're back in a minute.
For over 15 years, Erickson Custom Building has helped homeowners bring their remodel ideas to life. If you're looking to update a kitchen or bathroom or hoping to remodel your entire home, trust the team at Erickson Custom Building. We create customized plans designed around your dreams, ideas, and budget. For quality and follow-through on any home project, call Erickson Custom Building at 620-585-2816 or visit ericksoncustombldg.com.
The Hutch Medicine Shop and the Hutch Blue Dragons have a lot in common. In addition to our logos both being blue, all three pharmacists at the Medicine Shop graduated from HCC. Rick Stone in 1984, Brent Bauman in 2001, and Lacey Stone in 2007. In fact, the Medicine Shop has employed over a dozen HCC students over the past 15 years. who are now Kansas pharmacists. The Medicine Shop and the Blue Dragons working together as one team.
Jalen Irwin with the key catch in the corner of the end zone as the Dragons tie this game at 10 in overtime. Not to take anything away from the extra point by Niemeyer, it was just as essential as the touchdown. But the Blue Dragons and the Scotties, we thought it would be an outstanding football game, and guess what? That's exactly what we've had.
Now, Hutchinson with the football again, as how about we go back and stick another touchdown on the board?
Hutchinson will go first this time.
Reset the game clock to 0.
All right. Hutchinson with the possession. And it is important when you're the first team to have the ball in overtime, you almost have to put something up there.
Yes, absolutely. With the teams going with the wind at their back, a field goal is, you would think, pretty much a given. Although we've seen a lot of them miss. Yeah, they shouldn't be.
Cam Jones out of the gun, wants to throw, rolling to his right, unloads, floats it too high, maybe with a slight step on the defender, was Jagway, but it's out of his reach, incomplete.
I do like on first down, though, move him out of the pocket, buy some time, throw it, try to take a shot, see what Hutchinson does here on second down.
Well, in their touchdown in the first overtime, the Dragons got a pass completion on first down, picked up 10. It is second down. If you're wondering, a field goal from here is 42 yards. That's no given, even with the wind at the back. And Jones rolling to his right, hands off. Waller breaks a tackle and gets to the 21-yard line. 4-yard pickup, third down 6.
Going to spot him, I think, at the 20, Rusty. So just a great run, Glenn.
Yeah, nice run over there on the right side. See if we can keep this alive now. You got to keep it alive. Third down and 5. And don't have to go for it all, but get the first down.
You don't want
dragging down.
You don't want to have to make a decision on what to do on fourth down. Hutchinson has an injured player.
It's an offensive lineman.
And we're going to keep it right here while they tend to player. It may be as simple as a cramp.
Yep. Next week, Iowa Central comes in. Again, Independence playing them pretty tough.
Central struggled at times this year. This is a game in which I felt if Hutchinson were able to get through the Garden City Highland stretch of the schedule and come out of there with a couple of wins, it sets you up just very nicely for the rest of the season. And we are in a war trying to get a win here at Gowans Stadium in this one.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Indy leading in the fourth quarter 41-7 at Iowa Central, so that one's all but over. Butler came back, and now they lead at 10-7 right at halftime against Dodge City. Those are the only games going on right now.
It is a third down and 5 at the 20 for Hutchinson. Big, big moment on this Saturday afternoon. Johnny Lumpkin sets up on the right side in the slot. Jones in the shotgun, drops back, pressure comes, steps up, unloads over the middle, caught inside the 5 and then knocked loose.
Dropped, and he's down, a dragon down. That ball was right between the numbers. Would have had Hutchinson first and goal at the 2-yard line. He took a shot, and now we have a dragon down and a huge field goal attempt coming up.
Yep, you got to just about have to convert here, or you're faced with the unenviable task of trying to keep Highland from scoring. Hunter Sims took a whale of a pop. There were a couple of defenders there. He had it in his hands, but just simply could not hang on.
And I think he got the air knocked out of him, guys, as he took a shot to the midsection. It would have been a spectacular catch. It was a great throw. Jones put it right on the money.
All right, here comes the field goal try. They'll put it down at the 27. This would be the longest field goal of the season.
I like this hash mark because he's missed left when he's missed, and he's on the far right hash mark.
Snap is good. The kick is up. The kick is on its way, and the kick is good.
Wow.
And the Dragons take a 13-10 lead in the second overtime. clutch performance, Luke Niemeyer.
Hey, Glenn, now who's the pressure on?
Yeah, it's going to be on. Well, it's in a way it's on the defense because they got to keep him out of the end zone, but got to score. That's what Highland's got to do. They got to score.
Guys, I so prefer the high school method of playing overtime to that of the pros. There's no question about fairness. In the pros, you can lose the toss, team comes down, scores a touchdown, it's over. This, I believe, is better. Tristan Spear has two backs beside him, one on his left hip, one on his right hip, first down from the 25. And he starts with a handoff, and the Dragons start with a stop.
And that is number 89 in the backfield again, Lewis Wallace, 318-pounder from Georgia. We've called his name a bunch.
Willie Jordan couldn't get underway, lost a yard. 2nd and 11.
Kind of hard to move when you got a 320-pound anchor on your ankle.
Yeah, the Dragons have, 4 guys they can rotate in the middle of that defense that are 310 plus.
Ronnie Jameson, who caught the touchdown in the first overtime, split wide to the right side. They go with the run, spin in the middle of the field. Willie Jordan doesn't get anything. Back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd down and 10. A field goal from here, 42 yards. A long ways from a certainty.
Taylor Humphrey on the stop.
Yeah, and he's like, hey, guys, I'm 360. That's what I'm listed at. I probably weigh about 370 for this game.
Depends on how many cheeseburgers he's had.
That's right.
That chicken at the airport steakhouse, I can tell you that much right now.
He says, Lewis Wallace, you got the last one. I'll get this one. And now this time, how about we make a play and force him into a field goal?
3rd down and 10.
Timeout.
Timeout. We'll take a break. It'll be a short one. Back in 30.
Just when you thought you were done with taxes, you got a letter from the IRS. Maybe you're being audited, or maybe you filed for an extension and still need some tax help. We at H&R Block are there for you. We don't stop working on April 15th. Our tax professionals are here to help you year-round. So if you have tax issues you need a hand with, even if H&R Block didn't do your taxes the first time around, visit our offices in Hutchinson, Lyons, or Ellsworth, and let our experienced tax professionals help get you every dollar you deserve.
Highland needs 10 on 3rd down, or they'll have to try a field goal to tie this game in the 2nd overtime.
Ball right now on the far right hash mark here at Gowans Stadium. This is when the crowd could really help the home football team make some noise, try to create some havoc for this offense. This is the biggest 3rd down play of the game as we are in double overtime. Hutchinson leading 13-10, needing a stop.
Yeah, got to put pressure on that quarterback.
Tristan Spear awaits 4 yards deep. Man in motion. They snap it, fake the end around, give instead in the middle of the field. Dragons are equal to the task. A pickup, though, of about 4 yards. Could be 4 key yards. It'll be 4th down. And Highland will try a field goal to tie this game.
39-yard field goal attempt on the way.
William Solomon has a long this season of 46 yards. He's 1 for 2 in this game. This to send it to a 3rd overtime. Snap is okay. The kick is up, and it is low. It is over. Wow. And the Dragons prevail. The Dragons win it 13-10 in double overtime, and exultation on the part of the Blue Dragons and utter despair on the part of the Highland Scotties. What a marvelous, marvelous football game we have just witnessed. There's a backflip by a true Dragon. That's amazing athletic ability. Who was that did that backflip down there on about the 5-yard line?
There are players on their knees. There are
Jeremiah
guys
Hill
laying on the field. Nobody left this game without putting every ounce of their heart into the game.
Yeah, all the red shirts
wow.
are out here excited as well. That is a huge win. It was low trajectory, came in about 1.5 feet underneath the goalpost, guys.
All right. That is our final in double overtime. Hutchinson 13, Highland 10. The Blue Dragons win to move to 4-1 on the football season. 2nd loss for the Highland Scotties. Boy, did these kids play hard all afternoon long. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with postgame in a couple of minutes.
Has always been connected to serving the Hutchinson community, and you can expect the same kind of high-quality service when you visit Rothy Family Flooring. They believe you deserve to be treated like family, so they've invested in their own talented and trustworthy installers to lay your floors. No outside contractors will ever knock on your door if Rothy works for you. Let them show you their expansive selection of name brand flooring.